I did. I did actually tag you, but no, I didn't tell you. I forgot all about it. I was having a bit of a forgetful moment. So I haven't made a status for this. In fact, let me do one now. So you probably won't get many people on. Plus, it's an awkward time of day live right now with Ethan. I'm just going to tag you and just give it a few minutes for people to jump on. They're going to be thinking, what are we talking about?
Why did you not give it a title? That would have kind of made sense to give it a title.
I've put a detox or something. I normally fill it in at the end. After it's over, I go back and I update it, or so that I can get whatever we discuss, then I can put it on there and update it after. So, okay, people are going to be thinking, what the hell is this live about now? And yeah, right. It's what? Yeah. Right. So done a live the other day to talk about a specific product called Root, of which I also have a bottle here. So just to let everyone know.
Clean Slate. I think you find
Root. Yeah, Root Clean Slate. So, and it is, yeah, it's Clean Slate by Root. So, yeah. So that's that. And then in doing that live, there was a few claims made in the live, which Ethan would like to address. And the reason is, I mean, first of all, you've been a holistic health nutritionist.
Yeah.
For many.
I've been in this space of natural health for 30 odd years. I began training Shanna Cluley when she came into this space.
You trained Shanna?
I was the one that brought her into all of this and what have you. Yeah.
Oh, so the lady in the live we done the other night, Shanna, you actually know her and you trained her.
Did you not see the video I made with her?
Right. Oh God, yeah, I have seen it. But so that wasn't just a discussion. You was her trainer.
I was training her. We fell out down the road, but for our first year or two, yeah, I was training her. So,
right. And so there was a few claims in that live, which were pretty strong. And so you picked up on them. And so I thought it'd be good because I don't want to, I know that I like to have both sides of the story. So this isn't to cause an uproar, but I think it's important that people do listen to both sides of the story so then you can make your own decisions, full consent, basically. That's what we want. I don't know much about the product. And so, but Ethan knows a lot more than I do when it comes to health and with Clean Slate. So
first of all, I will say, kind of in agreement with Shanna, that when you remove toxins from people, that you can have phenomenal results, because the cause of most of the symptoms that people are suffering, that we label as diseases, mostly is toxicity. We're being bombarded with toxins, and so if you were just let's say, for example, you go on and you Google side effects of mercury as an example, you'll have a massive list of things that include anxiety, depression, digestive issues, just a huge list of things that typically are labeled as symptoms of a disease, neurological issues, shaking, all kinds of stuff. And actually, it's just toxicity. You've been poisoned with mercury in this case, but you can be poisoned with pesticides, herbicides, EMFs. The list is massive. So where I would agree is that, yes, if you can help remove toxins from somebody's body, you're going to see a massive, sometimes, depending on what, the person, you potentially could see massive changes, massive improvements in symptoms, of varying types. So I agree with that. That's a fact.
Right. So what was it on the live that you picked up that you felt people needed to know about that you didn't agree with?
So the main problem with Clean Slate is that there's a lot of lies that they tell about it. And the biggest lie that they've been telling for years is that it's a zeolite product, and it's not. It's not zeolite. It has nothing to do with zeolite other than the fact that they pull silica from zeolite. So it's got as much to do with zeolite as currents have got to do with a current bond. If you have a current bond and you remove the currents and give them to somebody and say, what's that? They're going to say, well, that's currents. And if you tried to say, no, it's a current bond, you'd look an absolute fool, right? Because it might have started off in a current bond, but you've removed the currents and it's now just currents. So if you take silica from zeolite, you've now got silica. It's not zeolite. Now it's the same as the current and the current bond, but they like to pretend it's zeolite. And over the years, they've made claims that it is zeolite, and so, sometimes they have very strange wording that they use they kind of speak out of both sides of their mouth, sometimes claiming it's zeolite, sometimes claiming it's not. She made an interesting statement, I thought. I didn't listen to the whole thing, I listened to bits of it, but she made an interesting statement that you won't find zeolite on the label. Why? Her words were not because it isn't zeolite, but because it's illegal to sell zeolite in certain countries, and so for labeling reasons they don't show it on the label. Whereas the truth is it's not on the label because it's not zeolite. There is no zeolite. What it is silica, silicon dioxide specifically. So Clean Slate is a silica product, and there's a lot of silica products out there, and silica is great. Silica is a good mineral, and it can be very helpful with detox, and I'm not surprised if people get some results from taking silica, but it's just silica, a very expensive silica.
Right. So when she said, actually, because I said to her, is there zeolite in there? And she said, you won't see zeolite on the bottle. Zeolite is illegal to sell in the UK, Germany, and different countries, which I was very shocked because we can get zeolite here. But then she said it's going to get banned, and I was very, very surprised. But you
said it's a pharmaceutical. It's not a pharmaceutical. It's not illegal in the UK. I doubt it's illegal in Germany. I'm pretty sure it's not. So I recommend a particular zeolite, which Shanna used to recommend, that she had great results with, but she now slates for whatever reasons, but not for genuine reasons. And that zeolite is available for sale in the UK. And most of Europe and New Zealand and Australia and so on and so on. So this idea that it's illegal, I have she's just making this stuff up, seriously.
Well, I was very surprised about that, and I think so were a few people. So Root Clean Slate, you've sent me it's very hard to write. I might have to where did I put it? Look, see, I'm getting old. I've got a magnifying glass. So,
I've got glasses.
Well, I won't wear glasses. I refuse to wear glasses, so I just use the magnifying glass. But it's really, really, I mean, so for instance, this Root bottle has got really, really small writing in it. And so, for instance, when you look at the ingredients, it says water, sea salt, vitamin C. Actually, it's not it doesn't say liposomal vitamin C like Shanna said. Would it
synthetic C, because otherwise it would say what it was. So I think it's synthetic. I don't know that as a fact. I'm just looking at their label, and usually when it says vitamin C and it doesn't give any other information
specific,
it's usually
because liposomal vitamin C is a particular type, isn't it, that absorbs in your body quicker.
It's a delivery system of the C, which
silicon dioxide and preservative. What is it? Potassium sorbate. Now, what is potassium sorbate?
It's a preservative that you really don't want to be putting into your body. Don't know why I presume they're trying to preserve the C, I guess. I don't know.
Why would you put a preservative in this bottle then?
Good question. You wouldn't need preservative for zeolite for sure. But it must be the C. It's the only thing that could possibly need preserving.
What, the sea salt?
No, the C, the vitamin C.
Oh, right. Why would you
doesn't need preserving, does it? You know,
No.
salt is a preserver, right?
Well, wouldn't the salt preserve the vitamin C?
I don't know why they've got their ingredients, you know, so I don't want to really speculate, but it's an ingredient I wouldn't want to put in my body. So mostly it's water, and then it's sea salt, and then it's silica, silicon dioxide, right? That's the label. Now, what she's saying is that, or implying by saying that you won't see zeolite on it because that's illegal and we can't get it into certain countries when we have that. And they used to have zeolite on the label.
That's what I'm just about to read. You've sent me, this is what's really quite impressive, because like she said, you won't see zeolite on the bottle because zeolite is illegal to sell in the UK. And many people actually chirped up and private messaged me and said that's absolute rubbish, which I was very surprised. And even I was quite shocked because I know you can buy it. And it's here, root, clean slate, and it says, what is zeolite, clinoptilite in clean slate? Clinoptilite is a naturally occurring volcanic mineral, much like quartz, with a negative charge, unique honeycomb cage structure. And there are over 80 different types of zeolite, of which clinoptilite has been shown to be the most effective. So what they're saying is they've got clinoptilite zeolite in the bottle.
Into the other little highlighted body, it says something like
Root created a proprietary, hold on, it's very blurry, mechanism to allow clinoptilite to remove these toxins from your body. So let me get this right, because I haven't got the experience and knowledge that you have in this field. But if I'm reading this right, it says, what is the zeolite? Clinoptilite in clean slate. So they're saying there is zeolite known as clinoptilite in clean slate. Is that right?
That's what they're saying, right.
And then it says Root created a proprietary mechanism to allow clinoptilite, which is the zeolite, a specific type of zeolite, to remove these toxins. But then they're saying that there is no zeolite, that you won't see zeolite on the label. But
and then also, and I've made multiple videos on this, the CEO directly states that Clean Slate is not a zeolite product, right? Because there is no zeolite in their product. The label is accurate now. It didn't used to be. They used to say clinoptilite zeolite on the label, which wasn't true. They've now removed that in the more recent ones, and it no longer says that. And the reason it doesn't say that is because there is no clinoptilite zeolite in their product. Not because it's illegal to say, which it isn't. It's not illegal in the UK.
Yeah,
that's a lie. Then it isn't on the label because it isn't zeolite. They want to pretend that it is zeolite because zeolite is known as the best detox agent in the world. In fact, they even stated that at one point on their own website for Clean Slate, that zeolite was the best natural detox agent. But their product is not zeolite, it's silica. Why are they lying about this? I think it's because you can go and buy silica super cheap. So
the same stuff.
You can buy silica very, very cheaply from multiple sources. It's very easy to get silica. Silica is one of the most abundant minerals on the planet. Most, like sand, is made of silica.
Are you telling me that this £100 bottle, or just around that price, I can get the same ingredients at less than
silica. You don't want some of those other ingredients. You don't want the preservative, for example, but you can get pure silica for probably 15 quid, 20 quid.
So would I look for, what would I look for? Silica dioxide. Let me have a look.
Silica, just silica.
Just silica.
Yeah, just silica. You can go, and there's multiple, it's everywhere. It's a very, very common mineral. So they've got to take this common mineral and make it special. And they're trying to link it to zeolite to do that.
So silicon dioxide, also known as silica, is an oxide of silicon with the chemical formula SiO2, most commonly found in nature as quartz and in various living organisms. In many parts of the world, silica is a major constituent of sand. Is that why sand is healthy when we go out and tread in?
Right. So you could get your silica from sand, right? So why are they getting it from zeolite? Because they want to use this zeolite connection and kind of pretend it's zeolite, but it's not.
Right, so I'm getting a bit confused. I don't know about anyone else, but let me just, because if I get confused, I like to make sure that asking the right questions. So there is no that in one sense she didn't say there was zeolite in the product,
But
but
I've
in the
given
other
statements from the company where they do.
where did
They
where
play
they
both hands. Sometimes they claim it's zeolite, sometimes they don't. It's kind of very politician talk. So, for example, they say Clean Slate uses clinoptilolite zeolite. That's true, right? But the assumption from Clean Slate uses clinoptilolite zeolite is that the product is clinoptilolite zeolite, but it's not. They lead you on because this is what they do. They get zeolite, which is made of two main things. There's two primary, let's call them ingredients of clinoptilolite, mostly silica, and then also aluminium bonded. Okay, so that's what zeolite is, and it's made in a special way by volcanic action. So you've got it's silica and aluminium. So what they do is they take that and they, in a lab, break it apart to separate them, at which point it's no longer silica, it's no longer zeolite rather. And now they take the silica and that's what they're putting in their product and using. But you could take that silica from sand or from any other, like it's, as I say, one of the, if not the most abundant mineral on Earth. It doesn't matter where you get it from. It doesn't matter if you take your currents from a current bun or you take your currents from any other thing that's got currents in it. And if you've got taken currents from here, there, or anywhere, it's still currents. It doesn't matter where you take them from. You've got currents. So it doesn't matter where you take your silica from, unless they're going to try and argue that the silica that's bonded with aluminium that makes zeolite is.
Oh no, what's happened? Sorry, I've gone off because I had a call. Where's the best place? Someone said, "Where's?" I'm not the only one that's confused. Where's the best place to buy silica from?
So, I've actually did a video where I went through some silica and I found a decent silica. But silica's cool, but what you really want is what they tell you. They tell you is the best natural detoxer on the planet. It's zeolite is what you really want if you're trying to detox. Although silica's cool as well. I'm all for silica, but it's not a patch on the
So
zeolite.
why would there be just silica in this and it's having amazing effects?
Well, they lie left, right, and centre. I don't know what effects, what we can trust from them in terms of effects. However, silica will produce good effects in many people because it has an affinity for aluminium, for example, is one of the things it has, and that's why it's bonded in zeolite. So it's going to remove toxins, and removing toxins is going to help a lot of people. However, if your goal is to remove toxins, there's nothing more powerful than zeolite. So
but then she made the claim that zeolite shouldn't go in your body because it's not biodegradable.
Well, that's the exact reason it should. You see, but when it's not bioavailable is probably what she said.
Oh, bioavailable. Sorry, my mistake.
Bioavailable, and that's super cool. You don't want it to be bioavailable. Why? Because you want it to go in your body and leave your body, carrying the toxins with it. So what it will do is it will grab toxins, and because it's not bioavailable, there's no receptor cells for it in your body. So your body flushes it. You want it to be flushed because it's going to grab toxins, and you want those toxins out of your body. So the last thing you want it to be is bioavailable. That's the whole point, not to be bioavailable. It's going to go in your body, it's going to grab toxins, and because it's not bioavailable, your body's going to flush it. It's only in your body on average about 6 hours. So you don't want it to stay in your body. You want it out. That's the whole point.
So zeolite is a good product.
Zeolite is the best detoxing product that there is. It's unbelievably. Even Clean Slate admitted that on their own website. I've got screenshots of them admitting that zeolite is the best when they were their product was zeolite, of course.
So I've got other people saying, "Can we start again?" because they're lost. So the idea was that we done a live to talk about Clean Slate. So if anyone's just joined, we're talking about Root Clean Slate. And in the past, Clean Slate have admitted that they do use a zeolite, clinoptilite in Clean Slate, but now they're saying that you won't see zeolite on the bottle because zeolite is illegal to sell in the UK, Germany.
Summarise it, Laura.
Yeah, please.
Slate is a detox product. They have been pretending for years that it's zeolite, and it isn't. They used to have zeolite on the label. Now they haven't. The reason they haven't is because there is no zeolite in it. What Shanna said in the live was the reason is because it's illegal in certain countries, so they don't show it on the label. That's not true. First of all, it isn't illegal in the UK where she claims. And secondly, if it was illegal, you couldn't just omit it from the label and then sell it to the UK. That would be illegal. So if you've got a product with zeolite and zeolite's illegal in the country, you can't just remove it from the label and sell it to that country. That's ridiculous, right? So the whole thing is ridiculous. The reason it isn't on the label is because it isn't in the product. They used to put it on the label. They were called on it. They've had to change. However, the CEO of the company has admitted, and I've done videos with him saying it from his own mouth, that Clean Slate is not a zeolite product. It's not. It's not a zeolite product. There's no zeolite in it. They have taken silica from zeolite. That's the only link. But the zeolite is no longer there, just the silica. So what you're buying with Clean Slate is a silica product with preservatives that you don't want in your body. So my suggestion would be to buy silica from another source, and it's a lot cheaper, and it doesn't have the preservatives, and it isn't coming from a company that's lying about their product.
Right. So how do you take zeolite? Sorry, how do you take silica from zeolite?
Well, zeolite is made up of two minerals.
Right.
Okay. And the majority of zeolite is silica. So they've in a lab split the aluminium from the silica, and that's where they've got the silica from the zeolite. But they could easily do the same thing from sand or from various plants. Horsetail is one of the plants that's got a lot of silica in. There's many places to get silica. Okay, they've chosen zeolite, I think, I can only assume, so that they can make the case that they're using zeolite and try and get brownie points because they're using the best detox product on the market. Why they just don't use zeolite, I don't know. But whatever, they're not. Their product is not zeolite. When they say zeolite, they are lying.
Right. So what you're saying is that this is originally a zeolite product, and they've taken the silica from the zeolite.
Correct.
And that's what this is, and they're fracking it, and this has got 66% or something of silica from zeolite, but it doesn't.
So they say it has to be a certain zeolite because it's a 66% silica. Okay, that's irrelevant. If your zeolite had 50% silica, when you remove the silica, what you've now got is 100% silica. It doesn't matter if there's 50% in it, 30% in it, 80% in it. When you remove the silica, what you've removed, it just means you'll get more silica from a particular amount of zeolite if it's got a high percentage. But what you're left with is 100% silica, right? So if it's got 66% or 50% or 30%, once you've removed it, now you've got 100% silica.
So right. And so
let's go back to our current bonds because you look confused. If you've got a current bond with 100 currents in it, or you've got a current bond with 50 currents in it, you remove the currents from the bond. All you've got is currents. That's it. You haven't got a current bond anymore. You've got 100 currents if you took it from the bond with 100 currents, and you've got 50 currents from the bond with 50 currents. But if you take from the 50 current bond, you use two bonds, you've got 100 currents in both piles, but you just needed extra bonds to get to the 100 with the one with less in. It doesn't really make any difference what the percentage is because you just got currents.
Right. But they're no longer selling it as zeolite, are they?
Well, they are. She just said the only reason zeolite is not on the label is because it's illegal, not because it's not in the product. She's implying that zeolite is in the product. We just can't put it on the label.
And they have actually stated that there was zeolite in the product before.
They have, and they still do. And if you go and look at their distributors, their websites, it's still claiming it's zeolite, but it's not.
Well,
And their CEO has stated it's not. So you've got this double tongue, two things. Sometimes they say it's not. Sometimes they say it is. It's not.
That's bad It's bad advertising, if that's the case. Right. So I'm trying to understand this. So okay. So
all I would say is trust the label. In this case, the label is now correct. There's no the label has no zeolite on it. And the reason it doesn't is not because it's illegal in the UK, which is a lie. It's not illegal in the UK. The reason is there's no zeolite on the label is because there's no zeolite in the bottle.
Right. So so then what you're saying is, on some labels they've said it's got zeolite. Now they can't say it's got zeolite in it because there is no zeolite. But what they've done is they've fracked the zeolite
from zeolite. Yes.
They've taken the silica from the zeolite.
Yes.
And hold on, I've got one here. Silica is a natural thing in sand. I know all about this with being a stonemason, and this hasn't got a clue what he is talking about. Sorry.
No, that's correct. Silica is a natural thing. That's right.
So does zeolite contain, and you said zeolite contains aluminium.
Zeolite is made up of two prime things, silica and aluminium bonded. So it's no longer silica, it's no longer aluminium. It's now zeolite. Okay.
So why would you want to remove the two? Why would you want to remove the two? Why would you want to split and separate?
They want to have a silica product for whatever reason, but they want to be able to associate it to zeolite. So by taking it from zeolite, they can create this association, but it's no longer zeolite. It's just silica. It's the same as if you take silica from sand, you've got silica, not sand. Right? If you break this and remove the silica from sand, you haven't got sand. You've got silica. Right? The same as if you take, if you take the magnesium from a green, right, from cabbage, and you remove the magnesium, that's no longer cabbage. You've got magnesium. Right? If you remove remove the oxygen from water, water's H2O, right? Two hydrogen molecules. If you remove the oxygen from water, what have you got? Oxygen.
Right.
It's irrelevant. It's not water anymore. It's oxygen. You've removed the oxygen from the water.
So basically, what you're saying is that the bottle's just far too expensive for what it is.
So, well, first of all, what I'm saying is they're lying about their product. It's in some cases they imply it's zeolite. In other cases, they directly state it. So they're lying. It's not zeolite. So it's silica. Okay. And with a couple of other ingredients of less importance, but it's silica. So if you want to buy silica, then you can buy silica really cheap. So and do.
So this lady's taking zeolite at the moment, not sure whether to carry on taking it. There's nothing wrong with zeolite.
Zeolite is the best detoxing agent that you can take. So I don't know why she said that. We're not really talking about zeolite and what it does. We're just explaining that this product isn't zeolite. They're associating it with zeolite because zeolite is so good. That's why they're associating it with it.
So does it contain the clinoptilites?
No clinoptilite. That clinoptilite is zeolite. It's a type of zeolite. It contains no clinoptilite.
Silica is the sand.
No. Sand is some sand. A lot of sand is made. A major component of that sand is silica, but silica is not sand. Sand is made up of various things, and one of the components is silica. So you can remove silica from sand, but silica is not sand.
And wow. I'm a bit lost now. I think everyone else is kind of thinking, do we buy zeolite or not? So yeah, zeolite is a good problem. We've been a stonemason. I know all about this. Murray said that yeah, he's a stonemason. He knows all about this, and silica is the sand.
Right. So so is this guy claiming that this product is zeolite? Because this is the question we're asking. Is Clean Slate zeolite? Is the question.
Murray, is Clean Slate zeolite? Because
No.
it does say zeolite on their leaflets on their website page, but it doesn't say zeolite on the bottle. And this is where it's very confusing. Julie said, I thought aluminium was bad for us.
It is, but it's not aluminium, it's zeolite.
But zeolite contains aluminium.
Zeolite is not aluminium, so zeolite is not toxic, it's inert. Aluminium is toxic. Just because something has a component doesn't mean that it is that thing. So alloys, different metal alloys, for example, once you get two metals together, they become a different metal.
Right.
Right. So when silica is bonded with aluminium, that's zeolite. Zeolite is not toxic. In fact, zeolite removes aluminium from the body. It's not aluminium, it's zeolite.
Right. He said, I don't know, I can't say, but I know for a fact that silica is the sand.
Well, actually, there's different types of sand, and not all sand is silica based. So that's not actually quite true. But you know, yeah, silica is a major component of some sand.
Quite a few people are confused, as well as I am.
What are they confused about? I don't understand. It's pretty straightforward.
Because I think let's just recap. The root is at times saying that they're using zeolite, and other times saying they're not using zeolite. But there is no
very clear. There is no zeolite in root Clean Slate as per their label. So what's about that?
But they do state on some of their labels that it contains.
That's wrong, and their CEO has admitted multiple times that that's wrong, that there is no zeolite in it. So I'm telling you, there's no zeolite in it. The label says there's no zeolite in it, and the CEO says there's no zeolite in it. Their claims that there is a lie. So that's very simple. I don't understand what's confusing about that. It's just a lie where they claim it is.
And so basically you can get a much cheaper alternative if you don't want to take zeolite or silica.
You can get much cheaper alternatives. If you want zeolite, actually you can get zeolite cheaper as well, much cheaper. The zeolite I recommend is considerably cheaper than their Clean Slate product.
And what does someone actually sent me? I can't remember. There was a screenshot that got sent to me of what zeolite actually does.
So what zeolite does is it's basically a toxin magnet. It's inert. It has no biological activity in your body. So what it does, you take it. So this is what I use. This is a 60 ml, twice as big as the Clean Slate bottle.
Yep, I've used that.
You spray it under your tongue. This is a nano zeolite. Okay, so that means that it's very small and enables it to get into the blood, allowing it to detox the entire body. Usual zeolite only detoxes the digestion. So but all zeolite, all quinocular-like zeolite, what it will do is it will remove pesticides, it will remove herbicides, it will remove heavy metals like mercury and aluminium. It will remove even radiation. It will remove mycotoxins. It removes a massive range of toxins, and it does so safely and effectively, even if you've got genetic issues such as MTHFR, COMT, or any of those problems. Makes no difference. If you've got sluggish detox pathways, it makes no difference. It's going to remove those toxins. Well, it was mislabeled, Robert, but now it's corrected itself. So right now the label is correct, but what they're saying doesn't match what the label says. So Shanna in her thing said the reason that zeolite isn't on the label is because it's illegal to sell in certain countries, so they've removed it from the label. That's what she's saying. She's trying to excuse why zeolite isn't on the label. But the reason zeolite isn't on the label is because it doesn't have any. It's not because it's illegal to sell in the UK, as she claims, which it isn't. It's not illegal to sell in the UK. That's just a lie. It is not illegal to sell in the UK.
So there's a lady here who's paid £22 for a zeolite kryptonite powder, and she says she's having great results with that.
Yeah, zeolite is awesome. Now, I prefer what I just showed you because it's much more powerful when it gets in the blood. But what she's ordered will do the digestive system like a bentonite. It's better than bentonite clay or activated charcoal or whatever, but it's great. Zeolite is great. So, yeah, she's right. I'm glad she's getting good results.
And so then I think Shanna made some very amazing, wow, I even said to her, you're making some serious claims here at how wonderful this has been to help with so many different things. So what is it, the silica in this that will do that anyway?
Well, first of all, I've just clearly made the claim, which you can check for yourself, that what they're saying about their product is not true, right, in terms of what it's made of. Right, so therefore I don't trust anything that they're saying about anything. All of that said, silica definitely has positive effects if you're deficient in it. Okay, so silica is different to zeolite. So silica is a nutrient that your body needs. Okay, so it's a supplement, whereas zeolite is not a nutrient your body needs. It's going to go in and leave. So it's very, very different. However, silica has many, so good hair and nails and all of that are a consequence of silica. So if you've got weak nails and hair, it's gonna help with that. Skin, it can help with. It's going to also help remove toxins, nowhere near to the level of zeolite, but it is going to remove toxins. Anytime you remove toxins from somebody, there's going to be positive results. Now you can have hurts if you do it too fast. So it can be initially negative for some people if they do detoxing too fast. But yeah, you can get great results when you detox. So there's lots of positive things that can come about by taking silica. So I would agree with that. However, I don't agree, or I don't necessarily believe their specific claims for their product being any better than any other silica. I don't see any reason why it would be better than another silica.
Murray said it has all natural things in it, and it's from the sea. Clean Slate has all natural things.
It doesn't have all natural things. It has a preservative, and it does, and it also has vitamin C, which it doesn't give its source, which normally means that it's synthetic. So I don't care what they say because I don't trust them. I'm looking at their actual what's in writing on their information. And in writing that they commit to, they don't give a source. So probably synthetic. So and it's not from the sea, it's from the lake, the salt, Utah lake. Right?
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh, right. It says sea salt. Oh, sea salt. But so this lady just said, I was told silica in shampoos were bad.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know why it would be bad, but yeah,
is that the Julie? Was that on a podcast of that? What they found was making hair fall out. Was that the one? Was it this? Is silica what makes the shampoo foam?
No.
Whatever the product that makes the shampoo foam apparently is actually bad for people losing their hair. So another thing, actually, this lady here said zeolite is harvested for volcanic rocks and is an organic material, which contradicts what Shanna said, which she said zeolite is a pharmaceutical product.
Well, she's not correct. Again, that's another bit of misinformation. It's not a pharmaceutical product. However, where she's getting that from is that some of the pharmaceutical industry use zeolite as a delivery system for certain pharmaceutical drugs. So there is a link with big pharma, so they do use zeolite, but that
She
doesn't
mentioned they're putting it in vaccines.
Yeah, so that'll be to do with delivery, a delivery system. But that doesn't make it a pharmaceutical. Just because you put a pharmaceutical drug into it, activated charcoal is great, but again, it's not comparable to zeolite, and it doesn't get into the blood. So what I mostly recommend is a nano zeolite, which sits in the blood and mops up all the toxins in the blood and the whole body, which includes the brain and the organs. So activated charcoal is just a digestive system, and it's cool if you get food poisoning or something. Activated charcoal is great. The other problem with activated charcoal versus zeolite is that activated charcoal removes the good and the bad. So you're gonna remove the good minerals, whereas the zeolite that I recommend not only doesn't remove the good, no zeolite removes the good, doesn't remove the good, but it actually gives you good. So it takes mercury and gives you magnesium in exchange, or potassium, or a positive mineral that you need. So it does a Akashian exchange, giving you good stuff for bad stuff. So it doesn't take bad stuff from you.
Murray, he's been a stonemason for over 30 years. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to mention that. And so basically silica can cause silicosis, which can cause breathing problems like COPD. But you're not breathing it in, are you?
Yeah, that's true if you're breathing it. If you get the, silicas could be dangerous breathed in. True.
Right. But you're not breathing the silica in. So
you're not.
And its silica can be found in plants as well. Yeah. So there is a very cheap alternative, rather like for people that can't afford root. I mean, Clean Slate, if you want to, obviously, please do it. They said it's not a multi-marketing scheme.
Pretty sure it is.
I can't remember what they said. It was like a community, not a multi-marketing.
But on your sand point, silica, the percentage of silica in sand at the most is 95%. And often it's less than that, between 70 and 95%. So sand is not silica, it's silica plus. But it can be a lot of silica. It can be 95% silica. But
Julia, I'll if you message me, I'll send you the link to the Zeolite that Ethan uses. And if anyone's...
I can give a special link. I'll send you, Laura, give a special link where people can try. So this is what I recommend. Okay, this is the world market leaders recommended by people like Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Circus, I think Macaulay.
Oh my God, she keeps calling me. Sorry.
So this is 50 quid in the UK, which is considerably cheaper, and it's twice the size of the.
Oh, it's double the size of that.
Yeah,
that's 30
mil. That's 30 mil, right? So this is twice the size. But there's I can give for people that want to try this a special offer link where they can try it for 10 quid delivered.
Right. So there you go. There's a link, and you can try it for £10. So if anyone wants to try this, do you have to buy it with something else?
No, they do. The 10 quid offer is that you are agreeing to a monthly subscription. However, you can cancel that. You don't even need to call anyone or send anyone an email. A couple of clicks and you can cancel that really quick and easy if you don't want to carry on with it. Not a problem. So it's actually sold at a loss by the company. £10 delivered. And it's from the US. It's delivered from within the UK, but it originally came from the US. So that's a loss to the company. But this, I've been recommending and using this for many years. It's the bee's knees. It's the best. Phenomenal. I'm not going to make any claims, but everything that Shanna claimed,
everything's in that.
Yeah, that's the real thing. But if anyone does want to get that, they can connect with me and I'll support them and give them all the info they need as well.
Murray, if he is saying silica isn't the sand, why is the sand that you can buy called silica sand?
What I'm saying, Murray, is that silica makes up the majority of what we call sand, up to 95%, right? But it's not just silica. So if they were using sand to make this product, they would have to break it to remove the silica from it, which is between 70 and 95%. Okay, so you can Google this. I mean, don't trust me. Go on Google and ask the question, what percentage of sand is silica? And you'll find it's not pure silica. Sand is not pure silica. It's made up of other components depending on the region and what have you.
Do you want me to? Do you want people to message me for the link, or should they message you directly?
They can message you. I'll send it you. And you can
okay. So if you want, Maria, if you want the link, message me. So it has a high concentration of silica. What if you're taking other meds?
So because it's inert and has no biological activity in the body, it has no contraindications with it, doesn't interact with any meds. Although it's always a good idea to take things separate at a separate time. Don't take them at the same moment. So this particular one, there's two that I recommend. This is the nano one. The other one is for digestion. But this one, if you spray under your tongue, within 30 seconds, it's already in your blood. All right, so you can take this in 5 minutes. I'll give it 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, you can take your meds or eat or whatever. But it goes straight into your blood. It sits in your blood, and as toxins come into your blood, because your blood is the transport system, not just for nutrients and oxygen, but the toxins all end up in the blood to be distributed either out of your body, hopefully, or to be stored somewhere. So if you have this in your blood, it will mop up those toxins, neutralize them. So let me explain about neutralization, I guess, because then that might help people understand a few things. So how is it that dentists get away with putting mercury into your mouth, right? And let me explain how they get away with it and why it's not really, they only give half the story. So when they put mercury in your mouth, they don't put mercury that's pure. They have it bonded in what they call an amalgam. So it's bonded with other metals. When the mercury is bonded with other metals, it's no longer mercury. And in the form of what we call an amalgam, it's not toxic. That is true. So an amalgam is not toxic. So that's how they get away with putting it in your mouth. However, and here's the rub, while it's bonded, it's not toxic. If the bond can be broken, which it can with an amalgam, so the friction or heat or acid, many things can break the bond of the mercury in the amalgam, then it's released and now it's toxic. So with an amalgam, you've got an off-gassing of mercury constantly, 24/7, of free mercury, and that's toxic. If the bond couldn't be broken, it wouldn't be toxic and it wouldn't be a problem. But the bond is easily broken. Okay, so with zeolite is silica and aluminium, and that bond cannot be broken in the human body. So that's why the aluminium attached to the silica that's called zeolite is not toxic. Okay, so the zeolite then is going to grab other toxins in your body. So mercury is one of the things it will grab. So you've got free mercury in your body because you've got amalgams or you eat fish with mercury or whatever. The zeolite will grab that mercury and it will neutralize it because it's now bonded. So now that mercury is no longer toxic, and the bond that zeolite has with toxins can't be broken like your amalgam can be. So it's now not going to be toxic while the zeolite removes it from your body. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Will it pull out fillings?
No, it will only take free toxins, not bonded ones. It can't break the bond that it's got. So as the bond is broken because of friction or acid and it's now free, it will grab that, but it will not pull mercury from the amalgam. It has to be broken first before it can take the mercury.
So someone said that you are slating root without any scientific evidence to back it up because you sell Touchstone PBX.
I've got plenty of scientific evidence. I've made videos on this. We just haven't got time to go into this. I'm slating root because they're liars. That's why. There's many lies that she told. Like, for example, you can just check, is zeolite illegal in the UK, as she claimed? It's not. Is there zeolite in their product? There's not. It's on their label, and I've got their CEO saying it. So what I'm doing is I'm countering lies, and I can prove those things. And I've done videos where I show the proof, where I've got the CEO saying it's not a zeolite product, where I can show the label where there is no zeolite. So the reason I'm a holistic nutritionist, so I'm not a salesman. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I choose the best possible products I can to help my clients. And if Clean Slate was a better product, I would have switched to it. They tried. The CEO of Clean Slate called me and tried to get me to do his product, and I wouldn't do it because it's not a product I want to represent. So my motive, you can try and argue that my motive is because I'm selling PBX, which is the zeolite I recommend. So actually, I just choose the best products. And then I work with lots of companies. Whoever's got the best product, that's what I'm going to recommend. And Clean Slate is not the best product. It's not a zeolite product. And if I want silica, there's better silicas out there that are much cheaper that I would recommend. I don't actually have a silica product that I personally recommend, but if I did want to recommend a silica, it wouldn't be Clean Slate because it's way overpriced for a silica, which is basically sand. I mean, we just had that discussion. You'd have to break the silica out of the sand, but sand is mostly silica. Much higher percentage of silica than zeolite.
With it's not liposomal vitamin C, surely, because if it was liposomal, it would say it would say. So it's Shanna said it was liposomal vitamin C, but normally, if that's the case, it would say that because it's got a different way of acting in the body, and with preservatives of potassium sorbate.
Yeah, who wants potassium sorbate in their body? Not me.
Does his product have full traceability source? If something is cheap, question source.
Yes, and it has lab results showing how clean it is. It's the world market leader. It's been around a hell of a lot longer than Clean Slate, and it's recommended by. It's the only one I've ever seen recommended by many of the major doctors like Dr. Tenpenny and so on. Who I've been involved with this much longer than any of them, but now a lot of the big names recommend only this one. So only this one as far as zeolite goes.
So here you've got quite a big response. Shanna and her family took Touchtone BBX for a long time and ended up with autoimmune issues. This was due to the mineral gapping problems.
Right. Well, first of all, I've got video evidence of Shanna claiming fantastic results with the products that I've recommended. I've got video footage of her and evidence that, for example, her aunt had cancer and was completely reversed using the stuff that I was recommending. So I've got literally Shanna making these claims, not coming from me, coming from Shanna. Okay. So she went after money or whatever. I don't know what her motives are, but she then turned her back on all that and started making claims. So so she's made a claim. So what did she say? This girl say she's claimed that it did what?
That it caused her autoimmune issues. This was due to the mineral gapping problems.
Okay. So this is complete scientific bull. Right. So first of all, Shanna's health was in a mess before she started on these products, and she was massively helped, according to her, from her mouth. Right now, she's trying to run it down, run PBX down, and she's making claims. So I don't trust anything she says. Nothing she says. You can test, just do a little check and find out if zeolite is illegal in the UK, like she claimed.
No,
when
it's not.
Find it's not. Ask yourself, can I trust what she says? And the answer is no. That's something you can check for yourself. Ask yourself, is this product that she's selling zeolite, which she has claimed in the past? And the answer is no. So she is lying. So I don't trust anything she says. So if she's now saying that she's had autoimmune things, first of all, how has she come to the scientific conclusion that was caused by zeolite? Because no studies anywhere will back that what she's claiming of. Caused by the what? The what gap is she saying?
The gapping, mineral gapping.
Okay, so it sounds like she's saying it's removed minerals from her body, which contrary to the studies, right? It doesn't do that. It actually gives you minerals. But if you've got health conditions, when you do a detox and you're taking toxins out of your body, you should at the same time be taking nutrition, including minerals, which I know she was. So even if all the studies are wrong and it's removing minerals from your body, which it isn't, and the studies don't show that, but if it was, when you take the minerals with it that you should be doing, if you're in that kind of mess, you're going to end up with far more minerals in your body than it's possible to make the claim that you're losing minerals. So Shanna, when she was taking PBX, was also taking products containing bioavailable minerals across the board. So there's absolutely no way, even if she was correct, and she's not, that it was removing minerals, it wouldn't be able to remove enough minerals considering the amount she was taking. So it is absolute rubbish what she's saying. She's not someone to trust. Why would you believe this woman?
Well, yeah, I did watch the video where she was really promoting the Touchstone products and saying that they were absolutely life-changing.
Right.
And I did see that. And if anyone does want to watch that, then message me. And this is what worries me is, like, you know, we go and say this product is absolutely amazing, and then we get a change of mind months. How long was she with Touchstone?
Quite some time.
Right. And now she's doing the same.
And started attacking it, not because it had done anything. Listen, when she left the company, Touchstone, that she was originally recommending, at that point, she never mentioned any negative things about the product. She left for other reasons. Then suddenly, down the road, she starts attacking the product that she'd been raving about for more than a year. She's a salesperson. She's not a health consultant of any sort. She didn't know jack when I met her, right? I helped her a lot, and turned her health and her family's health, including cancer. You know, we had major results. But
yeah, she did say that.
Yeah.
She did say that, and someone's just said, where is it? Maybe a silly question, but do you know about nagalase?
Yes, but that's not related to any of this.
Just wondered if you knew anything about it. So Clean Slate cleans your body out. It doesn't heal you. That's not what it's for. I'd like to get this chap on a live with Dr. Rahm. I think Ethan would absolutely be up for that.
No, ask them this question. Ask Dr. Rahm this question. And this is what I've challenged them multiple times with this. Okay, ask them the question: is their Clean Slate product zeolite? Ask them that question. That's all you want to know from them, because they're not going to be able to say yes. If you ask them, they're not going to put that in writing that it is zeolite. Ask them if it's canoxylolite zeolite. That's all you need to know. And then when it isn't, that's the end of the argument. It's a silica product.
And it's a very expensive silica product.
Very expensive silica product.
Dr. Rahm is one of the 20 of the best scientists in the world.
Really? Is she even a real doctor? I'm hearing she's not. I haven't bothered to dig into it, but that's what I'm hearing. Who's claiming? Who's claiming? Who's the people telling you that she's one of the top 20 doctors in the world?
I did the Andrew Cutler protocol many years ago. It is effective, however, it's very complex and risky to do unless you really know what you're doing.
Yeah, this is not Andrew Cutler. I agree. Andrew Cutler detox can be. Some people have good results, and some people have really bad results. It's something you got to be careful with, for sure.
So your PBX is not anything like that. And anyway, you're not here to sell PBX, are you? I mean, if people are...
I was here to cover the misinformation that was put out a few days ago by Shanna, who I know very well personally, but have had no contact with her for some years since she went down this road she's gone. And she's just giving a lot of misinformation.
Right, even Googling doctors doesn't mean that people can put all sorts of stuff into it. Yeah. Would you like me to come on, Laura? Shanna. Oh, Shanna's here.
Sure, come on.
Shanna, let me send you the link now.
Ask her if her product is zeolite. Ask her that.
Well, yeah, Shanna, I think that's all Ethan wants to know. Is Clean Slate a zeolite product, as it states on some of the root labels? Laura, please set up a live with this chap and Dr. Rahm. She would sort this chap out. Would you like to mention why we
on right now, and let's ask you the question. And it's not zeolite.
Oh my God, this could get messy. Right, let me send you the link, Shanna.
They're so confident in that they'll be sorted out. No, they're lying. It's not zeolite.
Right, I'm just going to. Is it zeolite? Would you like to mention why we have not had contact, Ethan?
Oh, what? I don't even know what crap she's going to come up with.
Oh, can we?
Question that the single question is the product zeolite? That's it. That's the issue. I've got an issue with them claiming it's zeolite when it isn't. That's the only thing. So is Clean Slate zeolite?
Is Clean Slate zeolite?
That's the only question that they need to address.
I'm desperate to get the bottom of my fatigue after having my thyroid removed. Any suggestions? I think if you message Ethan privately, Leslie, then maybe he can come in. Right, Shanna would like me to send her the link. Bear with me.
To answer the question, is their product zeolite? That's it. That's the only thing that matters. That's all I'm arguing with. That they're claiming that their product is zeolite, and it is not. So ask.
Can you? Yeah. So are you? Send me the link. Are you able to?
I'm not interested in talking to her. I want that question answered.
So Shanna, can you answer that question before I send? Well, I think what Ethan doesn't want to do is get into a spout about past arguments.
That's what it sounds like she wants to get into.
Yeah. So and I don't. I don't think I want to do this either. I don't want to get into an argument of why people fell out and what the problem was. Let me ask you, Ethan. Oh boy. I don't even think I want to read that out. Right, so that is something that you need to take up with Ethan, because that's a very serious accusation. But I'm sure that's nothing to do with root. And what I think Ethan, I don't know why I keep calling you Ian. I think I'm getting a bit flustered now because of what Shanna just accused you of. Does it contain?
No, is it zeolite?
Is it zeolite
in this product? That's the
so
question.
For the record of everybody else watching and listening, does Clean Slate contain zeolite?
Right. That's the question, because that's what they've claimed over and over again. Shanna has claimed that in the past. Many of them have. Still, they have distributors right up there claiming it's zeolite.
Shanna, I don't want to end up in arguments of what happened backstage. I'm only interested in the claims that were made. And Ian, why am I calling you Ethan?
Whatever she said.
Yeah, thank you, Penny. This argument shouldn't be aired like that. I don't want to talk about accusations of personal circumstances. I'd like to talk about the product. And your Clean Slate says that it is a zeolite. It has stated before on its, and it still does state on the, would you say the CEO?
Various distributors' websites still have it as zeolite. The website, you've got various things in front of you that I've sent you where they've made those claims. Clinoptilolite used to be on the bottle. It used to actually say clinoptilolite is the ingredient on the bottle. And they're still making those claims. So the question that I'm asking for her to answer, which she wants to avoid, and she wants to get into whatever it is that she's trying to get into, but she's avoiding the question. Is Clean Slate, is one of the ingredients that it contains zeolite?
Yeah, because it says on your product, on one of the advertisements, that it contains zeolite, clinoptilite, and I don't want to bring an argument about accusations of personal circumstances. If you want to come on and answer the question, does it contain zeolite? And if it doesn't, what Ethan's saying.
She can just text you that, yes or no. It's a simple yes or no answer. It either has zeolite in it or it doesn't, and it doesn't. But
Ethan shouldn't be mentioning this lady. The only reason Ethan's mentioned this lady is because he saw the live the other day, and this lady's made some claims. I'm happy to talk to you about the product. I talked about it on our call. Ethan is accusing me and not letting me answer. Sorry?
So if those two have got beef and they want to have a battle out, then they can do a live together on their own.
It's not about accusations in past stuff. I just want to talk. So if you want to come and talk about, I think Ethan just said, does it contain zeolite?
And what's she saying?
Yeah. So let her on the call then, and she can explain.
No, I'm not interested in having a conversation with her because she's going to try and take it off. I just wanted to answer her one simple question, and she won't answer it. And there's going to be, it's not going to change with her being on the call. She's going to be all over trying to avoid it. And I guess, I don't know what accusation she's given you, but I guess she's going to want to do that. Answer the question if her product contains zeolite. It's such a simple question to answer. But
Jill says you don't understand the science.
Oh my life. It's so easy. It either contains zeolite or it doesn't.
So let her on. If no one has got anything to hide, then having a conversation on live is not an issue. Yeah, but the problem is Shanna's just made a very strong, serious accusation about past circumstances, which I don't want to bring onto this live because this is not. And that's not what this is about. This is about what is in the product.
The bottom line is she came on and made some claims about her product, which she's been doing for years, and they claim and have claimed for years that it's a zeolite product, and it's not, right? So they keep doing this. They've been doing it for years. They sell it. They've even claimed it's the best zeolite product on the market, and it's not even zeolite. So I am challenging that, and this is why I've come on to challenge that point, okay? And she won't answer the question. Is it zeolite? She won't answer that question, and it's
I've sent you a private message, Ethan, on Facebook. Nikki, yes, she has made a very strong, serious allegation, and that's not what this is about. And that's why I won't bring her on, because I don't believe this is the place to be airing that kind of allegation.
Okay.
So all I want to know is, as Ethan said, does the product contain zeolite? Because it does state on one of the advertising, yes, it does. Oh, so it does contain zeolite. We have independent analysis. Okay. But you told me the other night you won't see zeolite on the bottle, that it didn't contain zeolite. So now you're saying it does contain zeolite.
Okay, great. So she's committed now. Great. So let's look at that. So she's saying it does contain zeolite. Is that correct?
So so it does contain zeolite. Which is, so why doesn't it say on the label that it contains zeolite? Right, so let me see if I can get that link. Someone's just posted the link. Does spaghetti sauce contain tomatoes? No, not all the time. So the point is, does spaghetti sauce contain tomatoes? Yes, but it's made with tomatoes, and it says that on the bottle. That's what it says, made of tomatoes. But Shanna said you won't see zeolite on the bottle. Zeolite is illegal to sell in the UK.
So what she's saying then, let me get this correct. It's illegal to sell zeolite in the UK. They've got a zeolite product, but because it's illegal to sell in the UK, they've hidden it on and removed it off the label. That's her claim, right? Because it's illegal to sell a zeolite product in the UK, that's her claim, which is not true, but let's forget that.
So can she come on now if she can explain, in contrary to the other night when you said there was no zeolite?
Well, your CEO says there's no zeolite. Your CEO, Clayton Thomas, says it's not a zeolite product. That's out of his mouth. So your CEO says it's not a zeolite product. I've got
but
that.
It does. But now it's on the label. It says it contains clinoptilite.
It doesn't say that on the current label.
No, she did. No, she said, Murray, she said you won't see zeolite on the bottle. It doesn't contain zeolite. Well, if it contains zeolite, it should be on here. Why is there no name? Why is there nothing to do with zeolite? Hold on. I'm trying to get, right. Can I bring Shanna on now? If we're just going to talk about you're not letting me explain. Okay. So, but can you, Shanna, please stick to what we're discussing here? Mm-hmm. And, cause this could be, let's have a look. Right. Because I don't want to get into a situation where we are talking about things we shouldn't be talking about. So no allegations, please, no accusations. You want facts, you might as well, as this architect, or do you fear? Who's Clayton? You want facts, you might as well. Right, where are you, Shanna? Right, let me send you a message. Right, I'm sending you the link. No, that's not it. Let me see if I can get the link. Invite guests, copy. Bear with me because I need to get the link to Shanna. So one moment. But please keep it to, like I said, what we're talking about. No past accusations or anything like that. Right, I'm just going to do the invite link.
Yeah, she's just. Oh well, whatever. Let's see what she says about the zeolite.
Well, I'd like to find out, because if people are buying this product, then they should know everything about it, shouldn't they? Right. Right. I've sent you a message, Shanna, on, you might have to check your others. Right. Your others, or spam or something. Get Clayton. Who's Clayton? Get Clayton on here.
He's the CEO.
I'm not sure I've got enough battery to get on my phone to get everyone on. On my way, right. Yeah, let me know when you're ready.
If I play something, would you hear it?
Or is it on your laptop? Or if it's on the phone, you probably wouldn't.
No, on the same device that I'm having this call. If I play it,
you can give it a go, but I don't know if it will.
Let me see. Or if I send you a video and tell you where to go.
Yep. I'm still waiting. Just bear with me. If this live suddenly goes down, we know this was all a setup. Nikki, I'm not setting shit up, all right? If it goes down, it's because someone's reported it. I'm not setting anything up.
This video. I've just sent you a video and you need to go to 7 minutes 24-ish.
Right. So let's get this 7 minutes 34.
24, I think.
7:24.
Just, it's round about there. Have a listen to Clayton Thomas, what he says.
Right.
By label, the clinoptilolite is used to create fragments.
Oh, I don't know what I've done here.
Spot. Just give me a second.
Yeah, it's just after this.
Here we go. This is the correct spot.
Okay, now.
And then you have Clean Slate, which is a different animal all alone because of the process, and you can see this in the other materials below, that it is not a zeolite product.
It's not.
There we go.
There you go. That's the CEO of Clean Slate.
So 7:24. He's just said it's not.
By label, the clinoptilolite is used to create fragments.
And I've got the wrong spot. Just give me a second.
Right, but
apologies for that. Here we go. This is the correct spot.
And then you have Clean Slate, which is a different animal all alone because of the process, and you can see this in the other materials below, that it is not a zeolite product.
so it's not a zeolite product.
Not a zeolite product.
Right, okay. Get Clayton. Is Clean Slate zeolite? Well, this is the problem. They're saying it's a very controversial thing. Right. Let's have a look. Shanna's here.
That was the CEO of Root just clearly stated it's not a zeolite product.
Right. Here we go. Hi, Shanna. Please just stick to the products. Right, so you made the claim that yesterday you said it wasn't, not yesterday, the other day when we done the live, you told me, or to the public, that it wasn't a zeolite product, but now you're saying it is.
So it begins as clinoptilolite. The clinoptilolite that Dr. Rahm uses is 66.7% silica. Clinoptilolite is an aluminosilicate, so it's comprised of aluminum and silica. That's what it is, right? So the mine that Dr. Rahm uses produces clinoptilolite that is 97% pure clino, 3% bentonite clay. It is 66.7% silica, which is called orthosilicic acid, which is 6. So the clino is, so that would be 100 minus 66.7. So the rest of it is not. So technically, whenever you label something, you have to label it as what it is most of. So the process of cleaning clinoptilolite, okay, that they use a food grade acid, they put it in water and they boil it, and then they use a food grade acid to clean it. Whenever that happens, it destroys any bioavailable silica in a clinoptilolite. Okay, that is the process that any company uses other than Dr. Rahm. Dr. Rahm patented a process which she does not use those processes that she learned in her bioscience engineering program, and her product is patented, and it cleans without destroying the silica.
Right.
Because Dr. Rahm is able to do that, she releases the bioavailable silica. Because she can release it, because clinoptilolite on its own is not bioavailable. It does not go into the cell. It is not a cellular detox by definition. There are no cell receptors for clinoptilolite. So whenever Dr. Rahm does what she does to her clinoptilolite, which is a patented proprietary process, she is left with unleashing the bioavailable silica that is 66.7. So what you have in her formulation is an orthosilicic acid derived from clinoptenolite. So on the label, you will see it labeled as silicon dioxide, which is a term for orthosilicetic acid. There are fragments of clinoptenolite still in it, but it is not labeled as clinoptenolite because now it is an orthosilicetic acid because of the high amounts of silica. Silica is the part of clinoptenolite that detoxes the body and is responsible for removing heavy metals.
Right. Are you okay for Ethan to respond to that now?
Go for it.
Right. So what you're claiming is that the silica is split off from the aluminum in the process that's used by your product, right?
I'm not claiming that. I'm saying that she releases the bioavailable silica. I never said that it's split off from the aluminum.
Well, Clayton Thomas has
You are saying that.
Well, Clayton Thomas has said that as well.
No, he hasn't.
So the silica.
He never used those words.
So is the silica still attached to the aluminum or not?
That is a question for Dr. Rahm. So you should talk to her.
Oh my goodness. So how does the only way that silica could become bioavailable is if it's, because zeolite is not bioavailable, which is what we want. We don't want it to be bioavailable, because if it's bioavailable, that means it's being absorbed by the cells. And we want the silica to not be absorbed so that it can pass out of the body carrying the toxins with it.
Then why does Touchstone claim that it's a cellular detox?
Well, because the toxins come out of the cells. Of course they do. Your blood flushes toxins out of the cells. That's what it's supposed to do. Your blood goes in, it takes nutrients and oxygen, it comes out, it brings out the toxins, which are picked up by the silica, by the zeolite sat in the blood. But we're not talking about Touchstone, we're talking about your products. Let's not.
This has everything to do with it, because you are accusing a formulation of one thing and then saying that another formulation that you represent does something else, which is claimed on the website to be a cellular detox, which means that it goes in. And you just said that clinoptenolite is not bioavailable.
Long enough.
So I think you also need to explain yourself, sir.
No, I'm not talking about PBX. I'm talking about your product lies that you've told.
Yeah, the root, because you said that it's got you won't see zeolite on the label because it's illegal, but it's not illegal it's not
in the UK to sell zeolite.
It's not illegal in the UK.
It is most definitely in Germany. It is illegal because it is considered a pharmaceutical.
You said it was illegal in the UK.
It is, okay. It is illegal in a lot of countries. So Dr. Rahm labels it for what it is, because it is 66.7% orthosilicetic acid. Therefore, you label it for what it is, because it is 66.7% orthosilicetic acid.
Right, but it doesn't. I don't think it does. Does it give the percentage on here of how much percentage it is?
Dr. Rahm has talked about it in her videos. She's available every single week. Every single week on live Q&As twice a week. And she has talked about it in her videos on how she creates it and everything. So that is a question. I am not a bioscience engineer. That is a question for Dr. Rahm. And Root has invited Ethan to talk to them, and he refuses every single time to ever talk to them.
I want an answer to the question. That's all I'm interested in. They won't give me an answer.
You won't talk to them to get the answer. There is no simple yes and no.
Yes, there is.
To most things, no, there is not.
It's either zeolite or it isn't zeolite.
I just explained to you what it is.
No, you went round in circles.
No, I did not.
Is it zeolite?
And you won't.
Or no? Is it zeolite or isn't it?
I just explained your answer. It is clinoptenolite that releases the bioavailable silica, which is a zeolite. Which is
a zeolite. So then why? Yeah, but then it should be on the bottle.
Because the way Dr. Rahm does what she does, she releases the orthosilicetic acid. You label something by what it is. If it's 50-50, then it should be labeled zeolite orthosilicetic acid. but it's not. It's 66.7% orthosilicetic acid.
Oh, Clayton. Right. Okay. We've got another guest here.
So Clayton, is your product zeolite or not? We're very confused here.
Ethan, can you give me a second and explain your background in biochemistry? Because I want to speak your language. No, I want to make sure that for your audience, I can speak your language.
That's a very antagonistic approach. Typical.
No. I want to make sure that I can understand your thinking, because let me take a couple minutes.
Clayton. Give me a break, right?
So
please answer
you
the
guys.
question. Is your product zeolite? Yes or no?
Allow me to explain the way things have been explained multiple times very clearly.
Just in the comments.
Using the term zeolite is like giving a builder the term wood. You guys could be selling asbestos. You could be selling bentonite. You could be selling quartz. You could be selling heulandite, mortandite, clinoptilolite. Using the term zeolite is ignorant. I don't deal with ignorance. We deal with science. So, is Clean Slate derived from the purest source of clinoptilolite available on the market, a 97% pure clino and 3% bentonite? Yes. The chemical makeup... Wait, princess. Wait. The chemical makeup of clinoptilolite that we source is 66.7% silica. In the process of
is it still called zeolite at this
What's
point?
That?
Not even
This product that you're using to create your product is called, even though it's 66% silica, it's still called zeolite, yes?
No, it is not. It's called clinoptilolite.
That's just the type of zeolite. Clayton.
Exactly. We are not dealing with idiots here. You have to explain things correctly.
So is the product that you use, which is 66% silica, is it called zeolite, a clinoptilolite zeolite?
Will you let him finish, Ethan? He's trying to explain it to you.
Let me see if I go this way. No, I'll go this way. So, let me go this way. This will be better. I can be full screen. So, the raw crystal used to manufacture Clean Slate, one of the ingredients, is 97% pure, or 97% clino, 3% bentonite. So is it a zeolite? Yes, it's a combination, because there's no pure clino available on the planet.
Stop, Ethan, and let him finish.
Shanna, shut up.
Oh,
Ethan, I know you have a problem respecting women because you sexually harassed this woman multiple times. Let's get by this.
Can we just not talk about that, please? I didn't want to make this show about anything personal. I just want to concentrate on the root.
I just made an absolute false, lying accusation.
Right. Okay. So we keep that, please, between, if there's a problem, then there needs to be an investigation outside of this.
She's not even made the claim ever before.
Okay, so if it's okay, I would really like to find out about the labeling here, because why certain things aren't on the label, and if they're not on there, then it's misadvertising. So that's what we're trying to get to the bottom of.
The claim's been made, and he knows it.
Who's this? Sorry.
I'm his husband, and I'm her husband, and I heard it all when it happened.
Right.
But
okay. So
I want to get back. I agree with you.
I don't want to be involved in any personal claims that have happened.
But he's just as much of a salesman. He has no knowledge either. The guy that knows stuff.
Okay. So basically, sorry. What you're saying, is that this is all. Everyone involved here is a sales pitch. That's what you've just admitted.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Well, that's basically
if he's trying to claim that she's a salesman, he's the one that goes after single moms and tells them.
Right? No. You've just said he's as much a salesman as she is. So you're saying that all this is just a sales pitch.
Help heal people.
I just want to find out about this product, because if it's not advertised properly, like if it contains zeolite, why is not zeolite on the bottle? if it contains liposomal vitamin C, why is liposomal vitamin C not mentioned on this? And whatever else it contains.
Everything that it contains is actually on the label. It's whether or not you understand the mechanisms that are used to create it. Now, let's dive into
it says
some
vitamin
science.
C.
Vitamin C is ascorbic acid.
Right, but Shanna said it was liposomal.
Labeling. So, what's that?
Shanna the other night said it was liposomal vitamin C, which is a different absorbing. Is it liposomal or is it not?
We use dehydrated liposomal vitamin C in natural barrier support. The ascorbic acid that's used in Clean Slate is not the same ingredient. It's a different source of vitamin C. But do you want to talk vitamin C or you want to talk science?
Well, I'd like
the ingredients of your product, Clayton, and has it got liposomal vitamin C in it?
Okay, so let's talk. Now I'm going to talk. I'll give you the floor when it's your turn.
Can you let Clayton finish what he's got to say, Ethan, and then you can answer?
So I'm going to break this down for you, and then I'm also going to give you an explanation from a biochemistry standpoint why the product is labeled as it is. Okay?
Is it liposomal or not?
Is what liposomal?
The C in your product.
No, we don't use liposomes in Clean Slate. We don't have to. You would never use a liposome with Clean Slate. The
I agree, Clayton.
Liposomal aspect is natural barrier support.
That's the point.
Liposomal vitamin C, I think he means.
So is it on the label?
No, it's
is it on the label?
It just says vitamin C.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we got that one out of the way.
So it's not liposomal vitamin C.
No, it's vitamin C as ascorbic acid.
Right. Okay. So Shanna made a mistake.
So yeah,
she might have misspoken.
Right.
Hold on. Shanna, hold your hand out. Will you hold your hand out, please?
Yeah, but I mean, you can say that you can mock that like a naughty child, but when people are buying a product, they want to know exactly what's in the bottle.
Here's actually what people want to know. They want to know that it works, and this is why.
No, I want to know.
It's been all over the world.
I want to know what's in there. So you said it's got no zeolite.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Is it my turn? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's in this is actually what's on the label, but how it's made up is what's important to understand. Now, granted, there's about 20 videos on our YouTube channel that explain this very clearly. So if you go to youtube.com,
Ethan, if you make notes, but can you just let Clayton finish, please?
So you can go to youtube.com/@therootbrands and look up Clean Slate. You'll get about 20 different videos. There's over 1,000 hours of content there. Now let's get into formulation. Okay. What you have to understand first is understanding what a raw is. Clinoptilolite, and as Shanna mentioned, in Europe, clinoptilolite in its powdered form is considered a drug. By
Ethan,
EU
is that right?
pharmacopoeia. Because trust me. I mean, my wife is a biotech savant working in Pfizer, Alexion, Biogen, IDEC, Johnson & Johnson, UCB, Bristol Myers Squibb, and Janssen. We do our diligence. We're fully licensed in every country that we work in. Our biggest market is Germany. Our attorneys made sure that we had everything registered properly and legally. Unlike any other zeolite products sold on the market that are being sold illegally in multiple markets, and they've been on the market longer than we have. So let's look at understanding what Clean Slate is. Foundationally, when you look at a label is going to state what the ingredients are based on RDA qualifications. So in Clean Slate, the only ingredient that has an RDA is ascorbic acid. So when you look at the label, the first thing you're going to see is ascorbic acid and how much ascorbic acid is in there per serving. That's the first line you see. Does it mean it's a vitamin C supplement? No. But what it means is based on proper labeling guidelines and compliance, that's what has to be there. My wife worked at Bristol Myers Squibb 16 years ago doing mRNA vaccine research on HIV. She knows exactly what was done, and she created the solutions to reverse all of it. And yes, we have the proof on that too. So if you want to bring up the question when I'm done talking, just ask me. I don't have a problem answering questions. I do it all the time. So when you look at the other ingredients, you have the rest of the components that are in the product. Water, silicon dioxide, and we'll explain this one really quickly, and sea salt, right? Because trace minerals are insanely important to prevent mineral gapping, and a little potassium sorbate to make sure that the product has shelf stability for longer than 2 years. Those are the other ingredients. So now let's hit on I'm not a molecular biologist. I don't need to be. And I'm dead on, actually. So the silicon dioxide derivative is the important part. So when you look at clinoptilolite, clino, and we don't talk zeolites, right? I would strongly encourage you guys and anybody in this space, all the MLM distributors for Cosiva, for Touchstone, for Zoe, for all of you MLM people, stop using the term zeolite. It's ignorant and it's wrong. It's highly incorrect, because by using that term, it means you could be selling the public asbestos, which you know causes mesothelioma, and you could be poisoning people and not disclosing it to them. So use what you really have. So clinoptilolite in its natural form comes in multiple molecular ranges. What we use is the primary sodium aluminosilicate, because what makes clinoptilolite special is its silica content as a cationic exchanger. And if you look at the research done on clino over the last 30 plus years, you'll see that's what makes clinoptilolite very special. The reason that it's a drug in Europe is it's used in drug delivery. Clinoptilolite's been used in drug delivery for over 30 years. Because of its cationic exchange properties, its ability to upregulate tumor suppressor genes, it has multiple pharmaceutical properties, which is why even in a ground up powder, it's deemed a drug in Europe. So you have to understand that premise.
So you're saying clinoptilolite is deemed a drug, a pharmaceutical drug?
Yes, because it's used in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals and selling it. I don't know why you guys don't know this. If you're using it in a nutraceutical or a nutritional supplement in Europe and you're using it as clinoptilolite, it's illegal because it's deemed a drug. What we do, because of having biotech and pharma backgrounds and our manufacturing having the ability to do such and being a whole lot different than most. Now, granted, this zeolite space, as you say, pertaining to clinoptilolite, I've been in the space for 18 years. I started out as a distributor with Wayora. I went into consulting, formulation, manufacturing, and now we do all of it. So I know this space as good as anybody. I spent time in the Bahamas with Eddie Stone and his wife.
How long are we going to talk to answer the question?
So the key with clinoptilolite is this, and this is what I was trying to explain before. Clinoptilolite is a sodium aluminosilicate. What you have to look at is the constituency of the makeup of that sodium, aluminum, and silica. Higher levels of silica mean higher quality, higher efficacy. Okay? But here's what makes Clean Slate unique over every other product that's ever been in the zeolite or clinoptilolite space. What Touchstone does right now is they buy a micronized powder of clinoptilolite, which you can get. You can pick the.
Let's talk about your product.
No, let me, Ethan, chill.
About your product.
I'm explaining so you understand. What Touchstone does is buys a micronized powder and they mix it in water. That's their product. So that way their fragment size is consistent because the source that provides them grinds the powder into a specific size. And then they just add a little bit in water and they sell it for $5. And they make money on that because it costs about $1.85 to make. What we do is we take clinoptilolite, we take a 97% pure clino with 3% bentonite that is 66% silica. And through the process of breaking apart that crystal, right? Because clinoptilolite is a hexagonal cage structure. So you can think of it like a honeycomb. When you break apart the honeycomb, which is what we're doing, right? We're not getting a powder and mixing it in water. We're actually fracking the crystal and breaking up the honeycomb into much smaller fragments. By doing that, by proper explanation, when you break something apart, as Shanna was trying to explain, when you break something apart, it becomes the sum of its parts. Just as if we were to take a car and I was to have a car stripped, right? If I take one of my Teslas or I take my Bronco and I have it as a Tesla or a Bronco, at that point is a car. But if I have that taken apart and if I have it stripped, the tires are going to be tires. The rest of the vehicle is going to be scrap metal. It's going to be aluminum. It's going to be metal because it is no longer a car because it's been broken apart.
So
what we do.
I want to ask you a question about this. So if I'm understanding you correctly, what you're saying is you're taking the zeolite apart into its component parts, which include silica and obviously aluminum and whatever else is made up, the other 3%, bentonite, whatever. So you're splitting that all into its component parts.
Not into its component parts. It's being fracked.
You just gave an analogy of a car being broken up into its parts.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing with the zeolite? You're breaking. You're separating the silica from the aluminum, for example.
No. I know where you're going. I know.
Well, I'm trying to understand your analogy.
You've
got the tires. You've got this. So you're not breaking it apart.
So think of it like a honeycomb, right? If you take a honeycomb, a bee honeycomb, and you have the whole honeycomb, and you hydrate the honeycomb, and then you freeze it. You cryogenically freeze the honeycomb, and then you superheat it. What's going to happen? The honeycomb is going to explode because when you take liquid nitrogen and you deep freeze something, and then you superheat it very quickly, it'll explode. This is how cavemen used to create caves, right? Through fracking. When you do that, the fractured fragments then are no longer identified as clinoptilolite, right? They're a sodium aluminosilicate, but they are made up of what their primary component is, which is 66% silica. So based on explanation,
let me try and unwrap what you just said. So it sounds to me like you're saying you're breaking the zeolite into smaller components. So you've still got zeolite, it's just now small pieces of zeolite.
You have the molecular structure of the crystal, but by being broken down, it becomes, by definition, what its consistency is, which is 66% silica. Because clino, in its natural structure, in its large crystalline form, is a sodium aluminosilicate.
So when you make a zeolite, when you break it down into a smaller size, such as PBX is a nano, it's still zeolite. It's still a clinoptilolite zeolite, just a smaller size.
What Touchstone is doing is actually just buying a micronized powder and mixing it in water. Right? They're not doing anything. They have no process. Trust me on this. I just got the analysis
I don't
back.
know how familiar you are with what they're doing, and I don't want to necessarily get into
It's okay.
that. But the point,
Ethan, trust me, we just got independent analysis back on it.
right,
It's okay. It is what it is.
If you get a bit of zeolite and you break it into smaller parts, down to nano size, let's say, those smaller parts are still zeolite, clinoptilolite. If you start with clinoptilolite and you break it down into smaller parts, it's still clinoptilolite.
Now, depending upon how it's broken down, you have to, when you tear something apart, as I mentioned, it's going to be broken down into its components. So if you break something apart and the total of what you started with is broken down, and 3/4 of that, or 66% of it, is a single ingredient, and you break it apart, you have to explain it as what it's made up of, because you're creating a new material. So when you break it apart, if something is 66%, let me explain it for you this way.
So if
you have a wood cabin, and you have a cabin, and you break down all of the wood in the cabin, you break it apart, you've got some aluminum for the roofing, and you've got a bunch of wood. You don't have a cabin anymore. You have wood and metal siding. So as a process, when you break apart clinoptilolite, it's going to be made up of what it consists of. So now, we're able to make this claim because we actually have a patented proprietary multi-step process to do this. You won't see any other company do this because they don't have a process. Touchstone doesn't have a process. What they do is they buy a micronized clinoptilolite and mix it in water. I know you can't comment on it because you're not associated with the company. You're a distributor. So they, and as I mentioned, I actually just got the data back.
I don't want to talk about that because you're attacking without an ability for me to give or Eddie Stone. He's who you'd want to do that with, and then get him.
Eddie refuses to converse with me. Eddie fears me.
Well, I kind of understand that, to be honest, Clayton. You just began with the way you spoke with me, accusing me of sexual whatever it was.
Ethan, your behavior creates my mindset. I'm sorry. You're right. If Jeffrey Epstein was on here, I'd call him a pedophile.
Well, but he is. But anyway.
What's that?
Anyway, as far as I know.
We can agree, right? Because his behavior is what begets the definition that we use.
Right.
That's all I got on that. But
he's been to court, like you have. You've been to court. You've been in prison.
Oh, absolutely. I get sued all the time because people fear what we're doing.
I'm not going down that road, and it's not really the right way to go. I want to talk just about the product and whether or not it's clinoptilolite. And I still can't get my going around in circles.
Okay, so
clinoptilolite, once it gets to a certain size, is no longer clinoptilolite.
No, it depends on the process. If you grind clinoptilolite down, it's still clino powder. If you process it and you have a proprietary process that you're doing to manufacture it and create something new with it, then you're going to define it based on what its chemical makeup is, which is 66.7% silica.
Created something new.
And that's why you don't see clinoptilolite on the label. You guys want to argue that Clean Slate is in the same class as every other zeolite product, as you say. It's not. It's also the reason that the outcomes are completely different.
What I'm saying is it's not zeolite. You yourself say that it's a new something.
Yes.
So what? So it's not clinoptilolite. It's a new. What is it?
It's Clean Slate,
which is silicon dioxide according to your ingredient list,
and ascorbic acid, and water,
right,
and sea salt, and a little potassium sorbate.
Okay, so you've got a silicon dioxide with some other ingredients. So what makes your silicon dioxide better than another silicon dioxide supplement, of which there's loads, much cheaper?
The outcomes.
So you're claiming you're getting better results with your silicon dioxide than any other silicon dioxide out there?
No, here's what I'm saying is that the clinical data and the efficacy of the product is showing that it's probably the most elite chelator available on the market. And when you can kill off the fungus and you kill off parasites, you bring the leaky gut back together in the gut, you reduce systemic inflammation, and then you boost neurotransmission through the use of 0N, which boosts dopamine and serotonin production. By doing all three of those with systemic detoxification.
Stuff, but so do you think silicon dioxide is a better chelator, let's say, than phenolphthaleate is?
Now, what I'm saying is Clean Slate is more advanced than any other product on the market. You want to argue ingredients because it's your only position. Let's talk product.
No, I'm arguing ingredients is because your people have claimed that your product is clinoptilolite, and they've compared it to the product I recommend, which is clinoptilolite, which gets phenomenal results. So I've never said your product. I don't know what your product does. I've never denied.
I know this is the problem. Is you've done a bunch of lives talking about how terrible the product is, and you don't know what it does.
No.
And what's interesting is some of the top distributors. Some of the top distributors from Touchstone are no longer at Touchstone because they work with us. Jill and Shanna are two of those people. These are moms that had vaccine-injured kids that had major complications. They had health issues themselves, and actually the use of products from Touchstone, specifically Pure Body, actually caused health problems for them because of what the product does. You can do a separate live with Jill and Shanna. They will bring you on their show and let you talk, and they will ask you questions. They will give you the freedom to have that conversation.
What scientific evidence that you have that clinoptilolite zeolite causes health problems?
I didn't say. Hold on. This is something that's really important to say. I didn't say that clinoptilolite does. I said that your product did.
Which is clinoptilolite.
The product that you sell.
Are you
the product that you sell causes health problems for them?
Are you claiming that PBX is not clinoptilolite?
I don't care what the ingredient is because there's
only one ingredient.
There's no actual fact that you know what they put in it. You don't know what the actual
PBX is not clinoptilolite. Simple question. Is that your claim?
You say it's zeolite. You say, by your definition, that it's zeolite. You don't even know. You don't even know what's the makeup of your clinoptilolite. No, here's something that's really important to understand with clino, right? Depending upon where it's sourced from, right? Because clinoptilolite is a natural occurring crystal.
It wasn't clinoptilolite. Is it or isn't it clinoptilolite zeolite?
What?
Is PBX clinoptilolite zeolite or not?
I don't have that answer because I haven't had it analyzed, and the company doesn't actually show what it is.
It does. It does.
They claim it's clinoptilolite on the label, but what's the chemical makeup? What's their source of clinoptilolite? Is there asbestos in it? Because there could be.
Right. So listen, Clayton. The label says it's clinoptilolite. You've got no reason.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to trust label claims.
Well,
so we're going to trust label claims, right? So Touchstone's product is clinoptilolite and water. It's not even preserved properly. Do you understand that to be a nutritional supplement in water, it has to be preserved?
It's not nutrition. It's not nutrition. You should know that clinoptilolite zeolite is not nutrition. It's not bioavailable to the body. It doesn't stay in the body. You have no receptor cells for it. To call it nutrition is beyond belief that you should say that. It's not.
So what are you selling? What is the product classified as? Is it a medical food?
It's not food. It's not it's not nutrition. You know this. You're playing games with me.
No. I'm asking you because I'm a formulator and a manufacturer of products, and I know law.
Right.
And I'm just a normal everyday woman like most of the people here, and I just want to understand, you made the claim that clinoptilolite is a pharmaceutical compound, right? So why can it not be put on the bottle?
If you're selling a drug, you can use it in Europe. If it's approved in Europe as a drug, you can use clinoptilolite. But most drug companies, if you look at, I'll give you an example, and I don't know the exact chemical makeup of this, but I'll use sildenafil, right? When you look at sildenafil, if you know what sildenafil is, it's what makes Viagra, right? The pill of sildenafil is not all sildenafil. There's a filler, there's additives. But when you look at the box, all you see is the sildenafil. It's quite likely that a part of the filler used to make that pill is clinoptilolite, because the clino will hold on to the molecular structures of the sildenafil and deliver it more effectively into the gut and into the bloodstream. That's what clinoptilolite does. That's why it's used in pharma.
So
right, but why is it not
that contains whatever is in the gelatin capsule? Because it's the delivery system of all sorts of stuff, the gelatin capsule therefore is a pharmaceutical drug.
Ethan, I don't even know why we have to have this conversation.
So no, I'm okay. So I'm just I'm just like the average everyday person that wants to know what's going on. So what you're saying is that because it's a pharmaceutical or classed as a pharmaceutical drug, you don't need to put it on there.
No. It means that if you're putting clinoptilolite on the label of a nutritional supplement or a supplement, and Ethan's going to say Touchstone is not a nutritional supplement. If that's the case, it needs to be removed from the market right now. That's aside. If you're doing anything as a supplement in the nutrition space in Europe, you can't have clinoptilolite. It's a drug.
Right. So does that mean
now you can sell it illegally? And this is what MLM companies are known to do. There's a lot of them that do this, not just with clinoptilolite, but with other products. They will sell a product illegally into a European market and wait to get fined and banned, because they'll take the revenue and then they'll leave the market.
Okay, so can I just ask you, as I hope I'm speaking for everyone here, because I'm trying to understand it from not Ethan's point of view, not Shanna's point of view, but from the point of view of the buyer. So if clinoptilolite is classed as a drug and you're selling a health product, and you're putting that in there, but you're not putting it on the label because it's not important, it kind of leaves it for the people open that you could be putting any other type of drug in there without putting it on the label.
No, and you're not understanding process.
Okay, so help me.
So, one, if you're dealing with health and nutrition in today's world, in a world that's actually overrun by nanotechnologists and bioscience engineers, you need someone that has a nanotechnology and bioscience engineering background to actually create formulas to do stuff to counter the environment that we live in. Dr. Christina Rahm is that nanotechnologist and bioscience engineer. She holds a master's in science, a PhD, a PsyD, an EDD, postdoctoral certification from Harvard in nanotechnology and bioscience engineering, 2 from Cornell in pharmaceutical management and nutritional counseling. She was an adjunct professor in oncology at Johns Hopkins. She's worked at Pfizer, Alexion, Biogen, Johnson & Johnson, UCB, Bristol Myers Squibb, and Janssen, and a couple others in the medical science and clinical science side. She wasn't a sales rep. She wasn't a lab rat.
She'd stop science.
She was overseeing all of the medical science and clinical science. She's done cloning. She's done molecular design work. She's done vaccine research, right? So she knows everything that came from this. She's a mother of 4. She had a photographic memory as a child, contracted Lyme disease when she was 19 and lost her memory. She came out of that after 2 years of therapy with an eidetic memory and the ability to speed read. She's
Right.
got 4 kids. She's had a brain tumor, a spine tumor, multiple kinds of skin cancer because of choosing to have her oldest child when he was a partial molar pregnancy. He was a twin, and the twin became cancer. When she had her brain tumor, she used all of her access, all of her research to actually use nature to eliminate her brain tumor. She's taken all of that history from years in biotech, years in research, years of work on her own, and created solutions for today's environment that reverse aging.
Okay,
She holds a patent on that.
but that
And
still
she
doesn't.
understands.
It doesn't answer the question.
It doesn't answer my
So
question.
she understands how to properly molecularly design and create solutions and formulas from raw ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Clinoptilolite is a raw.
Right. Yeah.
It's a raw. It shouldn't be and can't be just put in a bottle and said, oh, this is clinoptilolite in water. Because if you wanted to do that, you can go on Amazon, spend $40 for a tub of clinoptilolite powder, get a glass of water every day, take a pinch of clinoptilolite powder, put it in water, swirl it, and drink it. You're getting the same thing that you'd be getting in a bottle of PBX.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are. Trust me. I know this.
Yeah,
Ethan, I just got the data back last night. We had an independent researcher that did the analysis and sent it to me. Yeah. I didn't ask it to be done. She was requested by Touchstone because of the work that she's done with our products to analyze theirs. The data showed exactly what I just
said. There's a speaker in the background somewhere. Someone's saying, which one have you got speaker?
But, I knew you would do that. That's why I don't
Right, so, okay.
You're not going to, you just go around in circles, not answering the questions about your product.
Let me explain again. So for everybody to understand, like Laura was saying, if you don't understand this, if you take a raw and you break it apart, you're breaking it apart into its parts. You have to then define it based on what the highest level of consistency is, based on product design. So if you take clinoptilolite being the sodium aluminosilicate, and with that entire structure being 66% of that structure is silica. If we break it apart into smaller pieces,
it's still zeolite or it isn't.
It's then defined as silica because being broken apart, it's then broken up silica. The raw ingredient happens to be clinoptilolite, and it happens to be the purest.
It's not silica. If 66% is silica and the other is aluminum, it's not silica. It's still clinoptilolite.
It's the rest of it isn't aluminum. You have to look at the chemical makeup. As I mentioned before, the ratio of aluminum to silica is what makes clinoptilolite's binding capability so powerful as a cationic exchange mechanism. That's why also I asked you.
Clinoptilolite is an objective thing that we can define, right? And it's made up of ratios of silica mostly with some aluminum and then maybe some other little tiny bit bentonite or whatever. But it has a definition. Clinoptilolite has a definition, just as sand has a definition and charcoal has.
What is sand? Hold on. Define sand. What makes up sand? What's the primary makeup of sand? It happens to be silicon dioxide.
But sand is mostly silica as well.
Yes, exactly.
But you don't call sand.
But hold on. Let's understand this. So you're telling me that the computer that you're on right now is running on sand? Or is it running on silicon-based microchips?
And silica are two different things. Silica, the sand may be 95% silica at the top end. It may be mostly silica, but if it's got other components to it, if it's just silica, you call it silica.
What if you take sand? What if you take sand and you process it and you turn the silica that's into sand into microchips? Are you still selling sand? Is Intel selling sand, or are they selling microchips because they processed the sand?
So if you take the silica from sand, then you've got silica. And if you make something with that silica, like a microchip, then you've got a microchip. But the sand is not the same as the microchip or the silica. Silica is just a component of sand.
Exactly. And that is why we have Clean Slate.
Right. So if you have, so Clean Slate is silica. It's not.
No, Clean Slate is the microchip.
Okay, made from silica.
Made from clinoptilolite.
Not made from
salt, water, ascorbic acid, and a little potassium sorbate to make sure that it maintains.
But there's no clinoptilolite in your product, is the point.
What's that?
Yes. But there's no clinoptilolite on the label, and so what you're saying is because it's a raw compound and because it's classed as a pharmaceutical product, you can't put it on the label. Is that for insurance purposes or is that for selling purposes?
It's due to the process that's used to create the product that it's defined as silicon dioxide.
It's not clinoptilolite.
So you know more than anyone right now at the moment. A lot of people are losing trust with the medical system, big pharma, CDC, WHO. Anyway, so I think a lot of people, they kind of want to be able to say, actually, this is it does what it says on the bottle. It's got what it says in the bottle. And do
you want to know that the label is correct, or do you want to know that it's creating the outcomes that people need and the scientific efficacy holds up? Or
I want to know
silicon dioxide, water?
Well, I want the full informed consent of what I'm taking, just like I would if I was stupid enough to take a vaccine. I'd want to know what's in there.
Let me quote you, Clayton. You said, and I quote, Clean Slate is not a zeolite product.
Correct.
Great. That's all we need to know. It's not a zeolite product.
Correct.
It's a silica product.
No, it's Clean Slate.
Well, it's got a bunch of ingredients. Silica, seed.
Oh, okay. So you've called it Clean Slate, and that's why it's not zeolite, because zeolite is a different name to Clean Slate. That's what you're saying.
No, I don't think you're listening.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Are you there? Right. Yeah. So I don't understand.
Sorry, my phone blows up because we're busy.
Right.
And I'm taking the time to try to explain to your audience.
I think you've answered the question, Clayton. It's not a zeolite product.
Correct.
That answers the question.
Correct.
But it contains a zeolite product, which is clinoptilolite.
No, it's not a zeolite product.
Oh, okay.
Ethan, why does it matter? Does it hurt your feelings that
because you're comparing to zeolite products as if they're the same, and they're not. You might have a fantastic product, might be doing brilliant things, but let's not pretend it's a zeolite product. It's not.
Have you ever heard me use the term zeolite? I never use the term zeolite. I'll use the term clinoptilolite because, as I mentioned initially, if you're marketing, having conversations with people and selling them on the term zeolite, you're ignorant and you're wrong.
Right. Well, I have heard you say
you'll never hear me use that term.
Well, I've heard you use that term, but let's forget that. So it's not a clinoptilolite product.
Zeolite, as I mentioned, go to youtube.com/@therootbrands and look up Clean Slate. You'll see all of the explanations. You'll also see a lot of the clinical efficacy. And if you want the real juicy stuff, Laura, that you really want to see, you need to go to sciencenutritionsociety.com.
But I have to pay to go to that site.
Exactly, because guess what? Real research costs money.
Yeah, but if I'm a, like I am, and I want to find out more about the product, and I want to find out, why do I need to pay to go to a site that holds all the information?
Do you like to eat?
Well, of course I like to eat.
Do you pay for your food, or do you grow it all yourself?
Right, okay, so I pay for my food, and in return, I actually get something for it. But if I pay for your website, what do I get for it?
You're going to get what you're looking for. Now, I'll give you another example of what you're asking. So my wife went to Harvard, right? 3 years in nanotechnology and bioscience engineering. She paid, I think it was $30,000 a year for that education. It's not free.
I understand that. No, I understand what you're saying. And then your wife done the study and now she's produced a product. But if I want to find out about this product, why do I need to pay a website to find out about?
Because you have to pay to access it, because the information that's behind the paywall is not something that can be made available for everyone. Just like when you go on PubMed or you go on other research sites, if you want a publication for a published article, for many of the articles, you have to pay. You have
Right.
to pay to access.
You're the creator of this product, and we just asked you, is it a clinoptilolite product? So we've got the answer.
No,
It's
actually,
Sorry, Mr. Clayton. Sorry, if I want to find out more, so let me get this correct. I can go to your Clean Slate website, but if I want to find out more information about this product, then I have to go to the science. What's it called?
You can go to YouTube. There's a couple things you can do. You can go to YouTube. You can also contact Shanna and Jill, the Detox girls. You can look up, you can Google the Detox girls.
Yeah.
You can find them. And especially for this conversation.
But for example, that the C in the product was liposomal and it's not.
But guess what, Ethan? You want to argue semantics because you don't have an argument base. In this conversation, for this specific conversation, Laura, the best people to talk to happen to be Shanna Cluley and Jill Rosenkrantz. They are the Detox girls. They were distributors of Touchstone for like 7 years. They are moms.
2 years. 2 years.
2 years? Oh, sorry, 2 years. 2 years. I was mistaken. No one could stay there longer than that if they have ethics. If you reach out to them, they will give you and show you everything you need as a comparison. They'll give you their own personal experience.
They're just giving false information, according to you. For example, liposomal, that's what they said, and it's false.
Ethan, are you saying that it's improper for people to misspeak on little things at any point in time? You just said you didn't sexually harass this woman, and it's documented.
So let's not go down that road. It's what I think Ethan is saying, like everybody else, it's improper to sell a product without full disclosure of what's in the product. I think that's what a lot of people are.
Laura, look at the label. Go to therootbrands.com/the Detox girls. Go to YouTube at the Root Brands. Go to the Detox girls. Reach out to Jill and Shanna. You can get them all over social media. Go to Science Nutrition Society. Now, if your research and your mindset and your thirst for knowledge is worth $20,
is that how much the website is?
It's $20 a month. You can pay for it for 1 month, get in there, get everything you need, and cancel it. It's really simple.
But Clayton, you're saying go to the site, go to the label. I've done that, and the label on the site says it's not clinoptilolite.
And that hurts your feelings. Why? Because your whole business
it hurts my feelings.
is built upon selling clinoptilolite. I understand. You're an MLM distributor. It's okay. Your entire existence is predicated on the sale of one product, and you're trying to defend it.
And now you're over speaking me. You've done 90% of the talking on here, but still that's not enough apparently. The reason that I have a problem with it is because your people have lied and said it's clinoptilolite, and it's not clinoptilolite.
Is there anything else in the product that we should know that's not on the label?
Yes. Yes.
What would it? Yeah. Okay. So what would it be?
Love.
Oh.
Frequencies and polarization. Now, if you understand harmonics and you understand frequencies and you understand intention, you'll understand that aspect. And now we don't put that on the label, but it shows up in the outcomes. And honestly, at the end of the day, if you're wanting to understand a product, here's what you do. They used to do this back in the day. They called it the Pepsi Challenge. Try it. Use it.
Yeah, I've got it here. I have been using it.
And watch. And guess what? If you don't like it, you can send an empty bottle back. We'll give you your money back. We don't care. Our return rate is like 0.3%. People don't return this stuff because it works. We don't care how other people want to argue what the ingredients are. because it doesn't
no.
matter. The product is what it is. It's labeled properly. It's registered in the United States, Canada. Did you know Touchstone doesn't even have a UPN number or UBN number in Canada or an NPN?
When you say it's labeled properly, you've changed the label. It used to say clinoptilolite on it, and now it doesn't. So that causes question.
And then based on process and making sure, working with our scientific group and working with governments and registration organizations across the world, we were able to discover that we have to define it as such, which is how it's labeled properly now. Now,
So
I understand. Ethan, this is like the best position you could ever be in. You want to sell your zeolites and clinoptilolite. All you have to tell people is that Clean Slate isn't that. They're not even the same category.
Fantastic.
That's why this is why I drive a Tesla. I'm not going to compare my Tesla to a Honda Accord.
Well, you want to claim yours is the Tesla, but you've just admitted they're not in the same category, and that is my point, because you pretended it is. You keep comparing it to PBA. It's not me, it's you that keeps comparing it to Zeolite.
So could I just ask a question?
The raw that we use clinoptilolite. Let's look at this real quick. See,
well, you've just answered everything. It's not in the same category. You're right.
Is the Teslas, or are they the electric cars?
That's gasoline. You're British. You should love that. That's American. That's electric. That's electric. They're all cars, yet they're all different.
Well, that's what I wanted you to admit, Clayton. It's not in the same category. Fantastic.
They're not in the same category.
Right.
I wouldn't. Now, I've only got 18 years of experience in this space. I wouldn't touch Touchstone. I wouldn't use it.
You want to attack Touchstone and that, but it's not in the
same. No.
Ethan,
I'm not attacking it. Did you hear what I just said? I said I wouldn't use it. You're trying to attack another product because
no. What I'm trying to do is stop your false categorization of comparing the two. You've done videos where you say yours is the best zeolite.
So can I just right, guys?
Ethan, I don't say it's the best zeolite. I say it's the best clinoptilolite product ever made.
I'm pretty sure.
But it doesn't say clinoptilolite on the bottle, though.
Exactly the same way that this doesn't say that it's a big chunk of metal. And that says that it's not a big chunk of aluminum. Do you think Elon Musk could sell that for 150 grand for saying that it's aluminum? No, it's a freaking Tesla. But what it's made up of is some lithium, a lot of aluminum, a whole lot of wiring.
Well, now you want to say your product
a little rubber,
Tesla, but it's not in the same category. It's not a clinoptilolite zeolite.
Ethan,
so it's a different product.
Let me break this down. Clinoptilolite is like riding a horse. Right? Clinoptilolite is like riding a horse. It's the raw. It's the original way to doing it. You can ride a horse to work, or you can drive one of these.
Right, but you said that clinoptilolite was the best.
I prefer to use the concept of horses and make horsepower out of it.
So can I ask something? So Clayton, this product is actually quite expensive, and I don't drive a Tesla, and I certainly don't.
We can't sell everything for $5 and make money. So,
right. So what your company is saying is that you're not doing multi-level marketing. Right. So what is the difference between a multi-level marketing like what Ethan does and what you do? Because I've heard of people earning $30,000 a month.
We have people making $100,000 a month. Yeah,
right. So then
$100,000 a month.
So how is that not a multi-level marketing or a pyramid scheme selling? I don't understand.
Go to youtube.com/@therootbrands, search rewards, and watch the rewards explanation.
Sorry, my phone keeps going.
It's 6 minutes, and it'll explain it.
So Shanna sells some product, she gets paid some commission. If she brings somebody in, does she get paid any commission from what they sell?
If she has customers that order products, she gets rewarded. If her customers like the products and share with other new customers, they get rewarded. If they like it, they share with friends.
Does Shanna get rewarded for the sales that they do?
What's that?
Does Shanna get rewarded for the sales that people she brings in, they do themselves?
Absolutely. She gets rewarded for the customers that she creates And she also gets rewarded for the community that she creates
Right.
because
So
every company.
Some of her customers that she decide to get customers, does Shanna get paid for that as well?
Say what now?
So if some of Shanna's customers decide to become distributors like her, and
You
they
can't
go
become a distributor. You can't.
I'm not a distributor.
We don't have distributors.
Well, okay, you're just using different terminology you use for Shanna. She's what, a partner? She's a what is she?
She's a brand. Well, she's a brand ambassador and a really good one now.
Okay, she's a brand ambassador. Okay, so semantics. So Shanna goes and brings somebody in who becomes a brand ambassador, and they get some people.
No, you can't. See, here's the thing: is you can't. The only way you can become a brand ambassador of Root is to actually share with a couple people and create 2 customers, and then you're invited to become an ambassador because you've done a behavior at that point.
Okay, so my question is, does Shanna get paid only on
I can hear a very strong
money than you do.
There's a really strong wind.
What makes an MLM is the fact that you have to buy something every month. You have to, in order to make commissions. You have to do it. You have to pay.
And you have to buy a pack to join.
You don't have to buy a product every month with Touchstone.
You do until you get enough customers that you give up your. You give. I'm talking.
You can never ever.
You give up. With Touchstone, you have to give up your commission on customers to use their volume as your own if you don't want to have to buy $130 a month. So yeah,
right,
you do.
So it's still commission based of some sort, isn't it?
It's
absolutely, because here's the simple premise is our rewards model. I looked at 3 industries in creating our business model. One was Amazon. Amazon created the largest direct-to-consumer sales model in history, and they did it by consumers having a good experience and sharing with their friends. People created free accounts. They started consuming on Amazon. Amazon then started adding other products and other services to provide service to that community. The one thing Amazon didn't do until 20 years after they took over the world was offer an affiliate model.
Right.
Then I looked at social media and how social media has connected all of us. Social media also has been created based on consumers liking what they got, telling all their friends, people creating free accounts and putting all of their information online and not getting a single penny for it. So but social media connected all of us. So now as a company, companies don't need to pay for advertising through socials if they understand the last premise. The multi-level marketing industry, as it was originally designed, now it's been bastardized over the last 50 years. It's a horrible mess, and it's burning right now, which is a good thing because most of the companies in the MLM space are scams.
Right.
But there's a principle of that concept that is quite pure. If you're a consumer and you like a product and you share with your friends, you're creating value. You should be rewarded for the value that you create. So what I did in constructing our algos and constructing the business model was take the construct of what Amazon did, and I built an affiliate-based referral model that is completely free, that is solely predicated on the performance of the products. Because if you take paying for advertising away from a company, right, and you just release a product into the market and you say, we are going to survive based on the efficacy of the outcomes that we're creating. I'm not going to go to Google. I'm not going to go to Instagram. I'm not going to go to Facebook. I'm not going to go to Netflix. I'm not going to spend money on advertising to say, if I take $100,000, I'm going to get $1 million back because I'm going to get a 10-to-1 ROI. Right? That's the way companies look at selling things on social. Same on Amazon. But if you construct a model that is solely predicated on being of service to your community and you reward people for doing it, you can create a mechanism that is so powerful that will reward people in a way that is greater than what they've ever seen before from the MLM industry and even other affiliate models, because you can tap into not just the ability to directly refer and to have a second level, but if you do profit sharing in the right way, and you know that people are going to share if they like it, because We're already all connected on social media. Amazon's done it. Ethan knows it. It's why he does MLM, because if you talk to 3 people who tell 5 friends, who tell friends, who tell friends, who tell friends, you can monetize the sharing. The problems with the MLM industry are a lot of what Jill said. You have to buy a pack to join. You have to meet all these qualifications.
No,
MLM
it's not
compensation
free.
plans are not designed to benefit the distributors. They're not. Trust me. I know it. Eddie Stone terminated me because I brought up that they changed the product in Wayora. This is a problem. They hold people hostage. We wanted to make sure we could provide amazing products, produce amazing outcomes, and then reward people for doing it. What's happened?
It's very windy outside.
Let me
It's
go
very,
inside.
very windy.
Give me a second. When we launched the company on February 2nd of 2020, the best time ever to create a new business, right at the beginning of COVID, right? What we saw is the products took off and they've continued. We've had doctors all over the world publishing and reporting their clinical case studies, which is why we have to take those clinical case studies and put them on a separate third-party research
I'm
site.
going to go because I'm fed up just sitting here doing nothing while he talks non-stop, complete crap, to be fair.
All right.
So this is a waste of my time.
Thank you,
thanks for
Ethan.
coming. It was great to meet you finally.
He's jumped on, taken over, and he's just full of crap. That's the truth.
It's the world I live in. We're taking over.
It's just semantics, the whole thing. We're not an MLM. What are you? Well, he's just talked for 15 minutes about what I still have no clue. So waste of time.
What you have is a new mechanism.
Word of mouth recommendation. He's an affiliate program or an MLM, whatever. But I'm vastly losing interest. So, Clayton,
thanks for coming, Ethan. I appreciate it.
You're the one who came and took over.
It happens. I know. I mean, people like greatness. It's hard. It's hard for me. I show up.
You're great.
They show out.
You haven't answered hardly any of the questions. You just spent 20 minutes going round and around.
No, I actually explained the mechanisms. But if you go on the YouTube channel, you go to @TheRootBrands.
I've done all that, and I see the lies.
It's 6 minutes.
To them even now, but I'm glad you've admitted that your product is not in the same category. It's not a Zeolite.
Oh God, no, they're not even close. I would never affiliate myself with Touchstone.
And yet you do. You keep talking about it all the time. You can't stop talking about it. All your videos comparing your product.
The last time I was around Eddie Stone was when his wife was hitting on me in the Bahamas. There we go.
Oh, it's gone. Right, so just to finalise, because I do have a very low battery, I wasn't expecting this to go on. So you were saying about go onto YouTube, and if you're an affiliate, you become an affiliate, and that's how the products.
We don't really have affiliates, right? What we have customers, right? So we don't have staggered pricing. There's one price. You go on the website, the price is the price, right? So if you want to try the products. I don't know if you have an account because you have the product, right?
I ordered. No, this was sent to me. So by Till.
Okay. So, and this is the beautiful part. You actually had a friend send you a bottle. You said it's expensive, yet she liked you enough to send it to you. That's what love is, right? She's like, hey, you need to try this stuff. But if you like the products, you want to try the products, you go to therootbrands.com/whatever username is your friend had that shared this with you. You can create a free account. When you create that account, you get a username, and you can change that username to whatever you want, because it's that username that you will share with your friends if you want to. Now, we encourage people to do the sharing part after they've used the products and had an experience with them. Because if the shit don't work, you won't share it.
Yeah.
Right? It's really simple. If the products didn't work, we wouldn't be in business. If the products didn't work, Ethan wouldn't be throwing a fit because, well, the products don't work.
Right. Okay.
So the big thing is this just in, the products work, and they work really well. And there's multiple.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
It's just that I'm going to have to go as well, but I've got one more question. Obviously, you mentioned your wife was worked in huge top level pharmaceutical like
Yeah.
Pfizer and whatever, and mRNA. So there's the question is it's been asked time and time again, have you and your wife had the vaccine?
God, no.
Right. Okay, there you go. There's your
We knew here's what's important. We knew all of the data. When my wife was finishing the work at Harvard, and you had military, biotech, and research people in this class where there was only 19 people. She was at, and this is what's important, right? If you know what's in them and you knew what was going to happen and you had the means, you had the knowledge, you had the acumen, would you create something to combat it? If you're a mom.
Oh, has he gone?
If you're a mom, would you do something to fix it? The answer is yes. She knew exactly what was being done.
But was she not able to speak out like many of the other doctors and scientists that spoke out against it? Did she not feel she could do that?
My wife spoke by creating the solution to the problem.
Right. So she
saw. She didn't need to say anything else. She didn't need to say anything else. All she did is said, "Look, here's the problems. Here's what you have to do. Fungus is the big issue. So you have to create multiple layers that are going to be antifungal, as well as removing the environmental toxins that are causing the problems. You have to kill off the parasites because the heavy metals and environmental toxins in the body create the environment for the proliferation of fungus. The fungus create the environment for the proliferation of parasites. You have to address all of them. You have to address neurotransmission because you have to feed the gut what the gut needs to produce more dopamine and serotonin because we can't do it on our own anymore in the amounts that we need. You have to understand the biochemical pathways in order to do that.
But she can't sell it. She can't promote it as a cure to reverse what such.
I can't speak to that, but if you wanted to know how to reverse the issues of that problem, what I'll tell you is go to sciencenutritionsociety.com, look up the data from Dr. Norbert Keshkesh, the presentations by Dr. Norbert Keshkesh. He's the top doctor in Hungary. He oversees the Hungarian Olympic Committee. I'm going to go see him this next week again. If you look at his data and you look at the case studies that have already been done, and that shows that those issues, elevated pro-BNP, elevated C-reactive protein, elevated OSOT, elevated ALOT, those are all blood markers that are the most crucial markers to be analyzing right now if you've been in this market and you've had these things done or if you're concerned about it. All of them were normal in 30 days in people that were 3 times higher than the highest level of recommended.
Some people are sort of begging the question that your wife might have seen a business rather than speaking up. She saw a business opportunity.
So here's a question for those people. Would you prefer someone to come out and talk, or would you prefer someone to come out and save humanity? If you know how to do, doers do, talkers talk, right? Here's the thing with educators, right? If you can do something, you do it. If you can't do, you teach.
Yeah, I mean, well, someone just said both. Yeah.
And go to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube channel. Watch the 1,000 hours of content that are on the website. I think there's about 1,000 hours now. Go watch all the content. You'll see the educational component. The people that are asking about this are finding out through you because this is what we do. It's all through social sharing.
I mean, obviously, I'm putting forward questions of what we're being asked, but some people are sort of feeling that there was an opportunity for a huge business rather than speaking up and warning people not to take it, as well as
that part was already done. Hold on. Here's the thing: if you've been in my wife's background and you come out and talk, they'll execute her. Period. If she came out and talked about everything that she's done, and we've met with doctors that were Green Berets in the military, and they came forward to like, look, everyone knows who you are. Everyone. We've been all over the world. She was speaking on 2 panels at the World Economic Forum on women's on women's health and women's business and developing women in this environment and cleaning up the environment in a good way. Everyone knows
right,
who she
okay.
is. Everyone knows who she is. If she started coming out and actually talking about what she really knew, they would eliminate her. Couple things. She's a mom of 4. She's put here to heal people. She's not put here to talk on a freaking stage and say, look at me, I'm talking about problems and scaring the shit out of people. That's not what we do. We create solutions. Because is there a business opportunity in it? Absolutely. I created a business mechanism that rewards the people that are going to create the value for it. I don't keep the money. 48% of all of our revenue goes back to our community. 48% of our revenue. My EBITDA is like 12%. I'm not keeping the money.
Okay.
Jill and Shanna will tell you. Shanna retired her husband. Let me make sure this is clear. Ladies, Jill and Shanna, who both were Touchstone distributors, left, came here because of the science, started using the products. Their daughters, who weren't supposed to be able to have children, are both now pregnant, but they've been able to help so many people that they retired their husbands.
Right.
And she's making more money than she ever imagined making. I don't know if she wants to hit on that a little bit. But if you help people and you're of service, you deserve to be rewarded for it. You shouldn't be stressed. You should be happy every day. You wake up, you get to help people, you get paid. That's what we do. So was there an opportunity to make a ton of money? Absolutely. And you know the coolest part with making tons of money? Sharing it. I've never met a billionaire, and we know many of them, that own yachts, that go on yachts alone. We don't want to be alone. We want to have community. It's more fun to have a thriving community. That's what we do. We do dope shit.
Okay.
And we share it. So your battery's going to die.
Yeah, it is. I'm really quite low, but
entertaining times I've had on Facebook. Go to YouTube, get a hold of Jill and Shanna. And what I was saying about Ethan's behavior with Shanna is true.
Well, that's nothing to do with this.
Right?
It's something that's between them two.
No,
it's a personal issue that's between Ethan and Shanna, and not something that
Actually, it's not. This is a problem that is rampant in society with men abusing women. And it is something that I have a major issue with. I am a father. Actually, I'm not a father. I'm a dad to an amazing 17-year-old daughter. I have probably the most dynamic wife on the planet. My wife has been abused in ways in previous relationships and previous history that would make you sick. To see women talk to, send messages to, disrespect, and abuse women abhors me. I will not put up with that shit. The one thing that is most important to me is to take women like Jill and Shanna and put them in a position where they're able to do the things that they're made to do and get rewarded for it and are able to change humanity and do so many things that you can't even fucking imagine. This is the problem with humanity right now. This is the fucking problem. And the fact that we have the ability to empower women, and it's women in this society that are the ones going to make the changes. And if you don't follow a smart fucking woman in this society, you're following some jackoffs that abuse women, you're fucked up. With that, I finish my rant.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. And yeah, I hope this has helped the viewers. And
but we can chat further. I just sent you a private message on Facebook. I deleted someone so I could friend you.
Okay, thank you.
And
I'm going to recharge my battery. I've actually got work to do, and they're waiting for me to submit this.
Me too.
Spreadsheet.
I'm running $100 million company. I took 2 hours for you.
Yeah,
this was important.
Mine's just a small milk company.
Yeah, we do the things we need to do at times because they're important. They might not be what we thought was most important for the day, but things are important. And to give you an idea, you had Jill and Shanna get on here and say, hey, they're doing a live, hop on here. I got on here not for me. I got on here to support Jill and Shanna. Know that. And look, there's only one man left standing. Do the math.
That's me.
So I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you to both of you.
Cheers.
Okay. Bye-bye.